installing some fence posts, and I figured why not hang out with you guys while we do it. Just get you guys set up here. Oh, it is cold and snowy out here. Welcome to the far north in Canada, where it is a tundra. It is a freezing wasteland. You know what we're gonna do? We gotta backfill this post. We got 3 posts in already, 4. We're gonna keep going. It takes about 20 minutes a post in this hard clay that we're digging in. Gotta grab my 2x4 so we can pack down as we backfill it. 2x4 and a level. And got the shovel there, but I think we can get by to start. Just kicking some in. So, I gotta get the snow and slush off of everything. Make sure our post is in a good spot, somewhere about there. And we want to make sure we're relatively square with the property line, so about there. It is a cold, snowy day to be working out in the yard, but it is what it is. We got a bunch of apple trees we want to plant, and so we got to get the work done, rain or shine. We just got to be out here and get her done. So I ran a string line along, and that way I can make sure that I'm relatively squared up from corner to corner. My fence isn't all wibbly wobbly and zigzaggy. This fence here is going to be right along my property line. So it's going to be the first thing people are going to see as they come in. So we want this to look pretty good. No problem with the clay is you end up with 10-foot, howdy Georgia. Keep that snow up here. I wish I wasn't. I wish you could, you know what, you have it. You have the snow. It's nasty out here. It's cold, nasty. It is what it is, but it's not pleasant. I'm trying to use this, my 2x4 to pack in that soil around the post. Otherwise, we're gonna have a crooked fence. And it is coming here tonight. Yeah. She's cold out. Snow went out. Cold on the hands. And Willie says, where are you at, my guy? We are in the far north in Canada. And if you can't tell, it's snowing up here. I'm trying to install some fence posts. Running a fence down along here because this is going to be my apple orchard. I've got 14 apple trees that I'm going to be planting tomorrow. And so got to fence it in, otherwise my goats or my cow might try to eat them. So yeah, I mean, it is pretty crazy. We earlier last week we had up to like 35 degrees Celsius. Now we're down below 0. Welcome to northern Canada. 83 in Massachusetts. Nice. It is it's probably around 30 degrees here right now. Okay, we got to grab our shovel and start backfilling this in. We got our handy dandy post hole auger, manual auger here. Willie, thanks for the subscribe. I appreciate that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I keep this a very social live stream. I like to talk to you guys while I work. So I'll give you a little bit of an update for any new viewers and for you, Willie. I live off-grid in the middle of nowhere in the far north in Canada. And as you can see behind me, I live on a lake. I've got a beautiful piece of property. It's 156 acres, peninsula. So I got water all the way around, only one road in, one road out. And I've got farm animals. I got goats, I've got cows, I got ducks, I got rabbits, I've got pigs. And I'm trying to plant an apple orchard. But I got to protect the orchard from all those animals. So we are installing a fence. This area here is going to be, well, it's 70 feet by 40 feet. 70 feet by 40 feet. Gonna plant in here 14 apple trees in this area. So, put some soil in, back it down, square off my post. Get it about as level as I can here before I pack her down. It's pretty good there. Just have to hold it here for a second. So yeah, she is chilly out, but we're making the work. We're getting done. Kick some of that dirt in behind. Oh. How's it going, No Ego? My boots are starting to weigh 10 pounds a piece because this clay is getting wet. My farm fields here is a whole lot of clay, and so we need to keep scraping the boots off as we step in it. My 10-pound boots. But yeah, we're just trying to install these posts here one at a time, get them in, square them off, measure out, get the next one going. This is a slow process. It takes me about, doing this by hand, it takes me about 20 minutes a post, and I have 34 posts to do. So we are going to be out here for the next 10 hours. I don't expect to get it all done tonight. Oh, it's already late in the day, but we just got to get her done. Okay. I can finish making that nice in a second. Working in the rain. It's snow, my friend. This is snow. That ain't melting up there. Yes. Yes, Berry Bear, it is snowy. It is nasty. I'm in the far north in Canada. I live off grid. I'm in the middle of nowhere. We are installing some fence posts for my apple orchard. Ugh. I do plan to use concrete around my gate posts, but not around every fence post. The clay should do the job for me. Once I secure all these posts together, she shouldn't go anywhere. We can finish squaring it off and making her pretty later. Just gotta make sure we pack that clay back down around it. Okay, on to the next one. So I'm gonna manually hold one of my boards up. Oh, sorry, the clay around my boots is making it hard to walk. I'm gonna try to not make my pile of clay right in front of my feet next time. Ugh. Just try to shovel it off my feet. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. And is that snow, Jericho? Hey, how you doing, my friend? Yes, it is snowing. We got snow. We're catching it with the hat today. Oh, and it must be hard to dig. It takes a while. Let me set one of my boards. So, I got all my pressure treated 6x6 boards. This is going to be a nice looking farm fence. So if I hold that up to there, perfect. We're about right in the middle, right where we want to be. So the next one, I'm going to hold this one down in the middle. Just going to decide where we put our next pole, about there. Okay, I'm going to get the next one started with the shovel, and then we're going to use our post hole digger. So that's going to be about the center right there. That's the outer edge. I want to go about here. Move that board out of my way. Man, it's cold working out here. Okay, I'm gonna remeasure and I'll bring you guys closer. It is so cold. Okay, bring you guys over here. Let's grab my board, double check that I'm pretty close to center. So center to center. Up there. Okay, a little bit further that way. So it'll be about here. Okay. Now we're going with the manual post hole auger. So this takes a little bit of time. Orhan. I don't know if that's a trap. Is that a trap? My name's Justin, not John, and I'm not reading it out loud in case that's a trap. I do not have the wherewithal right now to try to figure this one out. We are just out here in the snow digging posts. Either that's an actor, or if I say that all in one sentence, it's going to sound something inappropriate. Red Dead Redemption. Okay. I mean, that's basically an actor. We gotta carve away a little more before I get into the auger because it's slipping into the first little hole I did and that wasn't quite center. Nah, we're just artificial rancher, a homesteader. We got cows, goats, pigs, rabbits, ducks. Just out here homestead. And so the hat just goes with it. Plus it catches all the snow, keeps it out of my face. See, people thought that these hats were for the sun. No, 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 no. They're for the snow. Now we gotta spend the next 20 minutes spinning this guy around, trying to read what you guys are saying. Rowdy says, I helped my dad as a young gal build 5-wire fence in the southwest in sandy soil. This is all clay here, so it's not too bad once I get past the surface. The surface is pretty dry. We had a heat spell go through here. Once I get down into the deeper stuff here, about a foot down, it softens up a bit. But it's still gonna take a while to go 3 feet down. I'm putting these posts there. 8-foot poles are going 3 feet down, leaving about 5 feet showing. Oh. Living in America is like living in heaven, our dream. Well, I'm up here in northern Canada and it's snowing, which doesn't feel like heaven. It's nasty, my hands are cold. If it's snowing, it means it's below 32 degrees, so she's cold tonight. Oh. And Georgia says, just filled up the hot water bottle for under the blankets. We're up at camp and it's falling to -4. So that's about 28 degrees with the wind chill tonight, going to be a cold one. Yeah, I got the wood stove going today. I brought another tote of firewood closer to the homestead so that I can keep my family warm tonight. And do you use, Rowdy, do you use post hole diggers like this? Are your post hole diggers similar to mine? A good old broken off baseball bat. And I'll show you the digger we're using in a second. And George asked if the frost is gone now. Yes, the frost is out. We just had a gnarly heat wave. This is the post hole digger. We just had a gnarly heat wave that pulled the rest of the frost out of the ground. So now we can dig. Bit by bit, you gotta pull it out, get the dirt out of there and just keep going. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll find oil. We'll get rich. Nice thing about living off grid in the middle of nowhere is I know that I'm not going to hit any utilities. There's no water lines, there's no electrical lines. I'm not going to hit somebody's internet. We don't need no permits, we just dig. Sorry, I'm catching up with the chat. For all those who are visiting, while I work, I like to chat with you guys. D-boy, how you doing? How you doing, my man? Welcome back. And Rowdy says, no, they had two handles and you kind of pinch the dirt. Okay, I've used that kind as well. I don't know what this one's called. A clamshell post hole digger, maybe? Stab and pinch style. I have used that kind before. I might even have one. But in fact, I'm sure I do somewhere in the garage. This one is kind of, it's like a earth auger, a manual auger. Maybe I'm just using the wrong word when I call it a post hole digger, because I have used that other kind as well. This one's more of an auger style. So it's a lot of work, but it's probably easier than the pinch and pull one in this heavy clay. Problem with the clay is it binds up in the auger, so you gotta really try to work to get it out of it. And Tom Gee says, yo, yeah, crazy in that rain, man. It's actually snow. If you look at the brim on my hat, we are collecting snow. We're gonna make a snowman today. I'm in the far north in Canada where it's bloody snowing. If you guys have heard the expression, May snow makes things grow, or spring snow I'm getting it all messed up now. What is the expression now? Now I've got it in my head that it's May snow makes things grow, but I don't think that's nearly right. Something about showers making things grow. Spring showers bring May flowers. There you go. Spring showers bring May flowers. It is a long day out here. My brain ain't working so well because now I'm thinking about the snow. April showers bring May flowers. Okay, see, when you live this far north, all the months are backwards. You get it all mixed up. It's May snow makes June grow. There we go. That's what we're doing up here. We're digging to China, and I bet you I'm gonna find it. And then we're gonna plant some apple trees. I'm kind of kicking myself for making this orchard so big. It's I'm planting 14 apple trees. I think it's like 12 apple trees and 2 pear trees, something like that. My wife ordered them, but because of that, I'm gonna space these out pretty big. I'm gonna have about 15-foot spacing between trees. So I made this fence area 70 feet by 40 feet. And I'm putting in a 4x4 post every 8 feet. So I got about 32 holes to dig. And yeah, so far I've done 4. It's about 1 every 20 minutes, less when I'm chatting with you guys. And it's beautiful green up here. Yeah, we just came out of a heat wave. Although I don't think this snow is gonna help a lot of blossoming flowers. They're not gonna like this. And apple trees are a good one to grow. Yeah, I figure if we get 15 of them, or 14 of them, I should say, at least to start, in about 3-4 years, they'll be producing some apples, and I'll have something to look forward to every year. And I'm fencing the whole orchard in because we have a lot of white-tailed deer, but on top of that, I have a lot of goats. I got goats and I got cows. And so if I don't protect these well, this is going to be a apple treeless apple orchard. So we need to fence this in to make sure the deer, the goats, and the cow, and the dog. Hi, Lily. Come here, Lil. You look miserable as I do out here. Come say hi to the camera. Come on, girl. She's wet and cold and not happy. Stan, how you doing? And Tom says, may end up in Hoover block amongst the Crips in 51st. I don't fully understand that other than us talking about the 51st state. Can you elaborate, my friend? Lily, come say hi. Come say hi, girl. Right here, right here. Come say hi. Okay, wait, sit. Lily's a proud dog today. Good girl. She caught a mouse. I was moving my wood pile and a mouse jumped out and she caught it and did her good homestead diligence and got rid of it for me. So good on her. And where is this? This is snow. It is awful. I'm in the far north in Canada. I live off grid about, well, as far as you'd want to go north. I don't like getting too specific because the internet's a weird thing, but I live off grid in the middle of nowhere, far north. I've got 156 acres on the lake. It's a peninsula. And here, I'll give you guys a better view so you can see the lake behind me. There we go. And yeah, so let's try to position you guys in a way that you can see me and the lake. There we go. So yeah, it's gnarly out here today. We just came off a heat wave. So up here in Canada, the temperature can swing pretty far. It was about 86, 87 Fahrenheit just like 3 days ago. It was like 88 Fahrenheit 3 days ago. Now we're at like 28. It's a gnarly temperature difference, but it is what it is. I appreciated the heat for a moment. That 88 degree heat wave dried up all the rest of our snow, opened up our lakes, and it was like being in the Bahamas. A lot of people were complaining it was too hot because we get used to this cold weather. We get used to the snow, we get used to the long winters. And so when you get that warm weather, people just aren't that used to it. And yet, those same people will try to travel to, you know, down south, further states, or down to Italy or something. But they complain about the heat up here. I'll take it. A free vacation. And no ego. Howdy, no ego. How many acres are you working with? Well, I've got 156. I've got about 30 acres of field. And then this area here, James, I'm installing a fence. This is gonna be 70 feet by 40 feet. It's an apple orchard. So I'm putting a gate on the front, gate off the back. I'm gonna be watering the trees using the lake. So I'm gonna throw my old well pump that I had to rip out of the ground and replace. It still works, but the water lines were shot. So I'm gonna use that well pump. And we're gonna suck the water out of the lake to water this apple orchard. So that'll probably be tomorrow's project, wiring up that well pump to make it work off the portable generator. But at this rate, it's gonna take me about 10 hours to get these dang posts in. So it's gonna take a while. And Wayne says, great hat. Thank you, my friend. And Rowdy says, I hear mosquitoes are the state bird up there. Well, my friend, we have provinces, not states. But yes, that's the one good thing about the cold weather here. I'm hoping that it shocks the mosquitoes and the ticks. We had a nasty amount of ticks come out. I mean, like I said, I live off grid in the middle of nowhere, and the ticks were just crawling on everyone, crawling on me, crawling on the goats, on the cows. But this cold weather is gonna stun them. I'm hoping it kills off a bunch of those mosquitoes and a bunch of the flies. Last week, they could pretty well carry you away. This is the point where I think I should grab the measuring tape and see how far down I am. And that I know is gonna depress me because I'm probably only 2 feet down and I gotta go 3. So we're gonna keep on spinning that auger. The one nice thing about this field, I got about 16 feet of clay before I hit bedrock granite. And there's almost no rocks in this clay. It is just a pure clay bed. So using the auger, not that bad. It's awful when you got boulders and rocks and you got to get in there with the shovel and try to dig them out. But so far, we are on hole 5 and we haven't hit a single rock. Not a single stone in all of this. Oh. I'm gonna move my board so I can get a little closer so I can see you guys. Yo, what's happening, yo? I just want to move you guys a little closer so I can actually see y'all. Without dropping my tripod. Okay, there we go. Oh, we got a nice crowd. Don't mind my hair, it is a disaster. hence the hat. Normally my hair ain't so ugly, but we be working today. I had to fix 39 acres of barbed wire fence. That is awful. I'm currently pulling out a kilometer, straight kilometer of barbed wire fence. And man, that stuff is nasty. It's under every tree, under every log, goes through the bush, through the middle of trees. And it's just nasty to drag through the bush with you. And are you on Starlink? You know what? I am, although right now we are on data. I have across the lake, there is one cellular tower here. The only reason we're able to stream so good is because it's the lake. And so our signal is uninterrupted. So we got a clean shot across the lake. When I go into the forest, I go down to one bar and I just can't stream. But yeah, the Starlink is way back at the cabin. I'll show you guys. Way back over there. And so the Starlink is not picking us up way over here. We are at the start of my property, the border between my neighbor property and mine. I thought that would be a perfect spot to build the apple orchard. When you first come into the driveway, it's what you're gonna see. And it gives me a little fence here just to kind of define the limit of the property. And holy smokes, it's still snowing somewhere. We are very far north. Look at that. We can almost make a snowball off the top of my head. That's the goal. By the end of the stream, we're gonna make a snowball off the top of my hat. Yeah, it's nasty. Nasty, nasty business. And James says 90 degrees Fahrenheit, rubbing it in. Are you on the northwest coast? No, I'm in central Canada, but in the far north. So behind me there is a lake. That's a freshwater lake I live on. It's a peninsula. We're gonna grab the measuring tape. 1 second. We gotta see how deep we are. If I can finish this whole line tonight, I'll be happy. Let's see, we're going 3 feet deep. We got to go about another 6 inches. We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. We got to go about 6 more inches. And yeah, I'm off grid here. And it must snow 12 months of the year there. Not quite. So up here, our winters are long and cold. We get about a solid 6 months of winter. And then I get a month or two of spring, a month or two of fall, and then about 3-4 months of summer. So because of how far north I am, come our summers, the angle of the earth points towards the sun pretty good. And so our summers are actually pretty hot, and the days are long. Like we'll have sun from like, I don't know, 6 a.m. till like 10 p.m. I'm not quite as far Arctic as some of my friends. They have like 24 hours of sunlight. But in the summers, we get a lot of light. So it does actually warm up because of all that light. The nights are cold, but it is what it is. And you need gas-powered equipment, Hercules. I wish, my friend. You know what? At my last property, I did rent a gas-powered auger, and it was not fantastic. That property was on just like a really gravelly, rocky, big boulders piece of land. And so the auger would just jam up and gum up and get stuck with rocks. It would be perfect here because I have no rocks. I got all clay. But, I live too far in the middle of nowhere. I'd have to spend a day to go get one. So we are just going to keep digging by hand. We don't have too much further to go. In fact, pull that one out. We'll measure it up and we'll see how close we are. We got to be getting close. What's the closest NHL team to you? Edmonton? No, probably the Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg Jets, somewhere around there. Gonna be a wet day. Yes, cold, wet, and snowy. How many days do you think I'm gonna be building a fence? I plan to get it done tomorrow. So, what am I doing? 1, 2, so 8, 16. Okay, I was super ambitious thinking I was gonna get this 70-foot row done tonight. It's 7 p.m. my time. If I go for another hour, I'll get about 3 more posts in. So I'm not even gonna finish this line today, but tomorrow. I'm gonna get this done tomorrow. I still gotta plant these dang trees. Oh. And we got a Go Jets Go in the chat. Yeah, it's aggressive. And Breeze says, I can't believe it's snowing. 92 degrees, high humidity in the US Deep South. Yeah, up here, I'm in the far north in Canada. It's got to be about 28 degrees. We can make a we're getting close. We're getting close. We can probably almost make a snowball up here. I'm gonna build a little snowman during the stream on the top of my head. Just keep shoveling the snow forward. By the end of it, we'll have a little snowman up there. And where are you for it to be snowing? Far north in Canada. We are way up here, northern Canada. I live off grid, literally the middle of nowhere. I've got 156 acres. It's a peninsula. My closest neighbor is about 5 kilometers away. But everyone up here's got a lot of property. That neighbor's got a good 1,000 acres of property. So we're building this fence along the property line, connecting our properties. Grab the measuring tape. We're going about 3 feet deep. And do I like cheeseburgers? Well, I can't say I don't like cheeseburgers. Okay, we are there. We're 3 feet deep. We can slam a post in here and go on to the next hole. We did it, guys. We got one done, 31 minutes. I backfilled the first one when I started. So yeah, not bad. We got a good crowd here. Thanks for chatting, guys. Keep chatting. If you guys want to know a little bit more about me or about the homestead, feel free to ask. For all those newcomers, we are living at an off-grid homestead, 156 acres. I got cows, I got goats, I got rabbits, I've got pigs, dogs, all that fun stuff. My wife is trying to convince me to get a donkey. What do you guys think? Anyone got any opinions about donkeys? One of my friends, they've got a donkey, and they said their donkey managed to take out a fox the other day. So my wife is trying to use that as an excuse for me to get her a donkey. I'm gonna get this backfill started. Just enough to hold the post up, and then we'll square it off. And oh glory, 130 chat. That is awesome. Yes, we got a big crowd tonight. It's awesome. It is a beautiful long weekend up here in Canada. So we got to get the work done. We're keeping busy. And Technofish says they rode a mule, and Just Me says hi. Yes, get a donkey. Good protection. No, that's what people tell me. They're good for protection. So we're thinking about it. I'm sure if not this year, next year, we'll probably end up with a donkey on the farm. And Jeremiah says donkeys are good protection and friendly with horse. So far, no horses on the property, but we'll see. And Pablo says, saludos desde Chile. Hello from Chile. Hello, Pablo. How you doing, my friend? We are up here in northern Canada. And yes, go for it. Name it, Pablo. And Georgia says, yep, you need a donkey. And Old Glory says, I have a donkey. Is your donkey a nice or a mean old donkey? I kind of get mixed reviews about that. I mean, you kind of want them to be a little bit mean if you're going to get them to hunt down foxes for you. Okay, got to get a little bit of soil in the front here. We are just working away in the cold. Just a Dude, how you doing, Just a Dude? Welcome back. Thanks for rejoining us, as always. To everyone who is new to the chat, thank you for joining. But to all my lovely subscribers who come back, Old Glory, Just a Dude, Georgia, all y'all, thanks for returning. And donkeys can be aggressive towards goats. I saw that TikTok. I did see that TikTok. There was one TikTok of a donkey like grabbing a goat through the fence and or was it a sheep? It was either a sheep or a goat, and kind of carrying it away. Okay, that post isn't there good enough. We'll pack it down later. I gotta fill in the hole and pack it. So let's get the next one going. We're gonna make sure that that was in the right spot. No going back now, but perfect. That looks good to me. Okay, I'm gonna get another board, send it down that way, and we're gonna keep this train rolling. And my donkey gets harassed by my Aussie and has never done anything in retaliation, but he has ended a few coyotes. That sounds like what I need. We got coyotes, we got fox, we got bear, we got wolves, we've got lynx, we got bobcat, we got cougars. We have a little bit of everything that we don't want on the homestead. And so, yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. I'm gonna carry you guys over with me. We're going to the next post. I can tell you guys this. It is a lot more fun working in the snow chatting with you guys than working in the snow by myself. We are slowly building a snowman on the top of my head. Josh asks, where do you live? We are in the far north in Canada. Okay, right about here, somewhere around there is going to be the center. Somewhere around there. So we're going to send it. Sorry guys, 1 second. I'll rejoin the chat in a second. I just got to get this hole started. Hardest part is just getting it started. Oh, there we go. Okay, then we can get the auger. Yes, that explains the snow. We're in the far north, very remote, living off grid up here. Oh, we've been live streaming consistently since about February. So I do make a bunch of content here on YouTube. This is just a hobby. We're not monetized. We're just hanging out, having a good time with you guys. But we make a ton of content. But my favorite thing to do is live stream with you guys. John lives in Iowa. Hi, John from Iowa. We are up here in northern Canada. And James says, donkey is better guardian over dogs. And Just a Dude asks if I'm building a fence. Yes, slowly but surely. I got 32 posts to dig. It's taking me about 20 minutes a post. We're doing it by the good old hand auger. And we got to go 3 feet deep in the clay. Thankfully no rocks, but this is nasty. At least you have an auger. Don't have to use a post holders. Yeah. The post holder I don't think would be possible in this soil. This clay is dense, heavily packed, but this does the job. It's just a whole lot of twisting and a whole lot of turning. But you guys are making the time go by fast. I might not be as efficient, but it's fast. Manual auger, but he's working out there. Yes. We also got like 10 feet of clay on our boots because I keep stepping on it. So I'm not being very smart about my placement. Oh, but yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 posts in. We're going for number 6 right now. So what I did is I ran that corner post and that corner post first, so I could run a string line across so that I could figure out exactly where to put each post to keep this fence looking nice and square. It's the same thing I do when I'm running T-bars for my electric fencing for the cows. Got to string line it to make it look sharp. We want everything looking crisp. Oh, and Jacob, I'm gonna move you guys closer. It is hard to read the chat with the snow blowing in my face. There's all that. Look at that. We are gonna build a snowman. Frosty the snowman. He's gonna be cheering on the top of my head soon. And Jacob asked if I've ever seen Yellowstone. You got a rip look to you. Well, I'm living Yellowstone. I haven't watched the show. No, we're up here in far north Canada where it's still snowing. You see, people think the cowboy hat is keep the sun out of your eyes and off the back of your neck. It's to keep the snow from going down your shirt. The real point of a cowboy hat is to keep the snow away. Whew. It's a workout, man. I'm staying warm digging holes at least. And the ground in Georgia is mostly red clay too. It sucks to dig. Yeah, my last property was like pit run backfill, full of big boulders. I built a massive fence there too. And I tried using a rented gas auger, which would be perfect here. But there I was hitting all the boulders. It was jamming up in the blade. It was awful. And that auger didn't have a friggin' reverse. So that auger, you'd get it into a rock, you'd have to take the motor off, get a big pipe wrench and back it off manually. It was awful. I mean, I guess short of renting an excavator, I couldn't have done it any quicker, but it was awful. And so now I resort to this. And do you believe that dolphins are real? Term, is there a conspiracy that dolphins are fake? Are you telling me that there's a conspiracy dolphins are fake? I live in the far north in Canada where we don't got dolphins. So I'm gonna believe whatever you say. If you tell me they're fake, I'm gonna go around telling everyone that they're fake. No one up here's ever seen one, so it's okay. I can tell them it's fake. It's all movie magic. What's the conspiracy? Oh. Where do I live? We are in the far north in Canada where it is still cold. And Du Bois says, I've never seen one in person. You know what? I have, here's my conspiracy, right? I'm sure you guys have played some video games in your day. And every once in a while, a video game's gonna have some DLC, downloadable content, where there's gonna be a new map, a new area to explore, something new. You know what, guys? I've never been to China. I think that's part of the simulation. I don't think there is a China. I think that that's just part of the DLC I haven't bought yet. What do you guys think? Do we live in a simulation? Is everywhere you live somewhere new? Somewhere you gotta download, you gotta buy? Oh, I can tell you if this is a simulation, I don't know that I'd prefer to pick Post Hole Digging Simulator 3000. Why am I choosing to dig posts in a simulation? What do you guys think about that? And Killuminati, welcome back to the chat, says dolphin meat is pretty good. Well, there you go. Dolphins must be real because you can eat them. And I have seen many dolphins in person. Dwayne says, not a conspiracy. And Jas Deep says, where is this? Devin says, hi. Pickaz says, WSG. We are in the far north in Canada where it is snowing. We are building a snowman on the top of my head. By the end of this stream, we are going to build Frosty the Snowman. He's going to come to life and he's going to greet you all and give you many blessings. And have you ever seen a new cemetery being built? Where are all the bodies? Simulation confirmed. I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast the other day with Hal Puthoff, and they were talking about ESP and remote viewings and psychics and stuff. And I'm surprised that Rogan didn't tie that into some sort of simulation theory. I'm just saying. Oh, this clay is just binding up inside my auger, making it hard to dig. And Dwayne says, I live in Buffalo, we get quite a bit of snow. Yeah, actually, sometimes you guys do get some nasty storms. I've heard every once in a while you guys will get hit with like a 3-foot dump. And Just a Dude says, some people play farming simulator, driving simulator, all kinds of simulations. Why not post hole simulator? I mean, you guys are all watching The Sims right now. You're watching a simulation of a guy digging a post hole. None of this is real. It's all pretend. And I don't know why I'm doing it. So that I can have apples in about 5 years. That's the one nasty thing about being way up here in northern Canada. Our growing season is so slow. Okay, we gotta try to get some of this clay out. I've got Thor's hammer full of clay here. My auger feels like 20 pounds right now. Oh, come on. Get out. Okay, gotta grab the shovel. Okay, guys. Okay, we're doing it. We're okay. And if you guys like what you see here, just a northern Canadian blumpkin trying to do farm chores, think about subscribing. Like I was gonna say earlier, we do a ton of different content. You're gonna see guides from foraging mushrooms, raising goats, pigs, cattle, maybe some butchering tutorials on all of the above, hunting videos, fishing videos. And the main thing that I enjoy doing is is reading you guys and mumbling my words. Devin says, already subscribed. Thanks, Devin. What I was trying to say is I enjoy live streaming with you guys because we get to chat, we get to talk, and we get to build relationships. We got Just a Dude, we got Old Glory, we got a bunch of friends on here who return chat after chat. Welcome, there's Du Bois. He's been talking the whole time. And so we got a bunch of people who return, and I enjoy talking to you guys. So consider subscribing if you want to keep these chats going and having good conversations. And we got a couple. Are you near Hudson's Bay? We're fairly close to Hudson's Bay. I've been up there. I've been fishing up there. So, I mean, it's close enough to get there. And Donnell says, where is it snowing? Far north Canada. We are way up here. And Seth says, you got me subscribed. Thanks, Seth. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Whether you want to subscribe or just chat, either way, I appreciate you guys returning, new, all that fun stuff. North Canada, yes, you got it, Arts. North Canada. and got here and instantly liked your energy and subscribed. We'll definitely look forward to more, man. Stay warm. I feel like you're taunting me. It's freezing out here. We got snow growing on the top of our head. Ugh. Oh, and this so heavy, this clay. We'll take our baseball bat handle out and try to beat the clay out. Like, I'm literally carrying a hammer of clay. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm in a spot that's a little bit wetter, so it's getting easier to dig, but harder to get it out of the auger. Come on. Oh. Okay, take a break from that. And Dwayne says, all subbed up. Thank you. Lily, come on back, Lil. What'd you find over there? Lily, come on back. My dog was probably out hunting a fox. Hi, Lily. You look like you were rolling in some mud out there. And go inside then, Bright Ash. Nah, we ain't going inside. We're gonna stay out here and get the job done. We are just out here working, trying to dig fence posts on my off-grid homestead. You can see the homestead in behind there, in the background, right about there. I got the generator rolling in the background because when it's snowing and cold and wet like this, my solar just can't keep up. We got solar panels. We've got electric fencing running their own solar panels. And I'm surprised. My electric fence over here, I got that one little panel. That one little panel will keep that electric fence going forever. We are rocking a full battery 24/7. Okay, let's put our handle back in and see what we can do. Get this clay out of here. There we go. We're free. About another foot to go on this hole still, but we're making progress. And you're doing some work, LOL, not warming up. Kentucky sends their heat your way. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're staying warm enough. My hands are cold, but that's just because they're wet. But we're staying warm enough. Seth says, I'm planting mangoes in Indonesia right now, doing the same work with the same tools and the same clay. Seth, my friend, keep up the good work. And that guy in the woods says, jealous. I know it's a lot of work. I'd love a homestead. Yeah, that's exactly it. I could be out here watching Netflix. Instead, at least, here's a blessing, okay? Where I am, I do have some cellular service. I'm in the middle of nowhere, far north Canada, but there is a tower. It works sometimes it doesn't, but it's across the lake. And so on a nice day like today, we're getting good, strong signal across the lake and we can chat with you guys. When I'm streaming from back at the homestead, I do have Starlink. So yeah, I can still talk to you guys back at the homestead. But we try to live stream 3 to 4 times a week. Keep these relationships going, keep chatting with you guys. And Rick says, remember what they took from us. Remember what who took from whom. What are we talking about, Rick? Enlighten me, my friend. Unless it's something racist or something, then none of that. We ain't about any of that. Guys, for anyone just joining, we are in the far north Canada, off-grid, homesteading, and currently we are installing fence posts for my apple orchard that I'm planting. And it is snowing, and it is cold, and it is miserable. We did some live streams back in February when it was minus 45 Fahrenheit. It was freezing cold. And we'd get about 20 minutes before the phone would turn off. I'd have a full battery, I'd have it plugged into the wall and everything. But when it's that cold, technology does not work. But we're committed. We're out here doing the thing, chatting with you guys, whether it is warm, whether it is cold, whether it is snowy, icy, or dang outright hot. We are just out here doing our thing. I have a beautiful wife and 5 kids. Unos, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco-ish, something like that. We got 5 boys. And yeah, we're just out here homesteading, doing our thing, living off grid. But I can tell you, it is a lot more enjoyable being able to chat with you guys and take breaks, the lovely breaks. So does it snow this time of year normally? I would say yes. Normally this time of year, it's a gamble. So in Canada, this is our May long weekend. It's a holiday. I want to say Victoria Day. I think you guys, Americans, have a holiday next week, Memorial Day. So we got a holiday this week, and it's opening weekend for fishing in a lot of areas. And so people come up here, you know, from all over the states and stuff to come fishing in these far northern places because the fishing is so good because there's no people. No people mean plenty of fish in the lakes. So, and plenty of big fish. So, anyway, what I was leading to is it's kind of a gamble way up here though. There are some May-long weekends where there's still ice on the lake and you can't get out there with a boat. I remember one time, when I didn't live on a lake, I went out to a big lake, up by the Hudson's Bay actually. And I went to go fishing and I got there on the Friday and I was gonna launch my boat and I decided, you know what, let's not launch the boat. It's late, it was a long day of driving. We decided to wait till the next day. The bay was open, you could see water all the way across. Well, set up my tent, go to sleep, have a terrible sleep because it's like, you know, 25 degrees Fahrenheit, freezing cold. Wake up the next morning, get up, go take a pee, look at the sunrise, look out at the bay, ice. The whole bay was ice. The thing, I guess, A, it was cold, but B, the ice had drifted in from, I guess, the Arctic, way north of Hudson's Bay. The ice had drifted in, filled our entire bay with ice. If I had launched my boat, it would have ruined the boat. It would have just destroyed it. So we got lucky that way, but it did make for a cruddy weekend where we couldn't go fishing, way up in the middle of nowhere, in the cold. So yeah. And do you work cattle or animals? Seth, yes, we have goats, cows, ducks, pigs, rabbits. Talking about getting a donkey. Lots to do. And Post is going on strike next week. Yeah, actually Canada Post. He's talking about our national mail service going on strike. They did it in the summer. They're planning to do it again. So when you live way up here, you actually kind of rely on Canada Post because I live in the middle of nowhere. And at the very least, Canada Post will send a truck up this way once a week. And so we can still get mail. But, you know, them good old Amazon packages. But yeah, they're going on strike again, at which point we're gonna run out of supplies. It is what it is. And Benjamin, 150 people. Yeah, we got a good chat going here, Benjamin. And you, my friend, everyone who is interested in this kind of content, homesteading, animals, doing hard work, go check out Benjamin. Benjamin has his own channel and he is getting close to 1,000 if he's not already there. So guys, check out Benjamin. If anyone else on this chat has a YouTube channel, drop your name in the comments and I'll check you guys out. Other people can check you guys out. It's always fun to see other people who make videos, see what they're getting up to. And we build a little bit of a community and we get to support each other. So get to check out what other people are doing, see their progress, and just have a good old time with each other. And Best Day says Canada or US. We are up here in northern Canada where it is snowing. We can build a snowman soon on the top of my head. So, and the logic says, yes, cowboy, how many Apaches or Inuits? None, my friend, none. No, that was the work of previous generations. We are very good friends with our First Nations. Up here, it's not Apaches, it's not Inuits, although there are Inuits close. Up here, it's just Aboriginals or Indigenous people. And they are our friends. They are our friends, not food. Be nice. We try to stay not political on here. We're just here having a good time, trying to stay wholesome, trying to be friendly. And I appreciate you guys. We got a good number of people hanging out. Leo says hi. Hi, Leo. We got a good number of people and not that many trolls. What is your channel, Benjamin? Benjamin, drop your tag. I know it's, I don't know if you guys can click in the chat on a guy's name, but if you click on it, you'll be able to see Benjamin's channel. And we got John saying hi and Chene Brayers saying hi. And Kim says, do you garden? Normally I do try. That's actually kind of what we're doing right now. We are installing fence posts for our apple orchard. Tomorrow we will be planting an apple orchard, 14 trees. And yeah, the one problem with up here is that our growing season is very short because it's very cold. So it's tough. It is tricky to grow things, but we try to make it work. These apple trees, I think in a more southern climate, probably when you plant an apple tree within 2 years, I'd say you probably get apples. Up here, it's more like 5. So This is going to be a journey. The apple trees I got are probably 1 year old already. I got them shipped up from a tree nursery. So hopefully in 3 to 4 years, we will get some apples out of these trees. But yeah, it's gonna be a little while. I was actually reading my kids Johnny Appleseed earlier today. So we are in the spirit of apple trees. Just trying to make it work. I should measure how deep this hole is, because as I start bending lower, that means we're getting deeper. Oh, I think I just hit a Chinese person. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. That might have been rude. I don't know. We're in the far north in Canada. Oh, and the joke is if you tunnel right through, you'll end up in China. Okay, we got our measuring tape. Let's see how far down we go. We're trying to go about 3 feet deep. Oh, that's depressing. 2 feet 2 inches. Holy man. We got to finish this hole. We got another 8 inches or so to go. Hi, goats. Hi, goaties. I hear my goats calling from the barn. They're saying hello. And Just a Dude says, and sorry if I miss anything you guys say, just repeat it. Sorry, when I look away, the chat is bumping. Just a Dude says, I heard a theory that Johnny Appleseed actually might have been a nuisance. Probably spread just as many diseases as he did apple trees. And Seth says, greenhouse, heavy machinery. I've got a loader back there and a farm tractor. No greenhouse though. I do know a lot of people up here do use greenhouses. The greenhouses make a lot of sense up here. It's so cold that what people will do is they'll dig the ground like 2 feet down and put the greenhouse on top of that. Get a little bit of extra heat off the earth by digging down a little bit. And then you can start your growing season a little bit early. One of my neighbors has a big greenhouse, although they accidentally, here, one second. We got to get rid of sudden silence for being a heathen. I don't know how. Remove. Did I only remove one chat? We got to get rid of all of it. We need to hide this user. They're gone. We don't got time for that. And Logic says, that's native land you're occupying, question mark? Technically, I guess. Oh, we're getting clay all over ourselves. We're gonna have to wash our jacket. And Oren says the Chinese army is watching. They are now. They are now. Steven says hi. Hello, Steven. And Sniper says, Sniper Vlog 12. Guys, go check out Sniper Vlog. Sniper, now's your chance while we got a few eyeballs on us. Explain what your channel is about and what you do. And if anyone's interested, go check out Sniper. And Gelato says, God bless you, sir. That was not funny. I agree. We were trying to keep this wholesome. We're also trying not to make it very political at all. I got no political opinions. I live off grid. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I got nothing to say about the government. I got nothing to say about the world. We're just out here doing our own thing in the middle of nowhere. So let's keep it that way. Let's keep it wholesome. How much does it snow in Canada? Well, as of right now, about 6 months out of the year. We get snow about 6 months out of the year. It's nasty. Makes it hard for growing things, but it is what it is. And Poop Bucket, how you doing, Poop Bucket? Says, no, it hasn't been native land since we conquered 100% American land. Well, this is Canada, so it's a little different. It's a little different up here. I got nothing but love for the First Nations people. For any people. I got nothing but love for all you guys. We gotta go like another 6 inches. This is awful. And Sniper says, just vlogs, I just started. Well, guys, check out Sniper if you want to see some fresh vlogging. And Seth asked if my kids homeschool. Yes, we do homeschool. It is, we actually use an American curriculum. So we are Canadian, but we do use an American curriculum for homeschooling. The American programs just seem pretty dang good. We do use Canadian history and geography, history and geography, of course. But yeah, your guys' math curriculums and all that are bumping. And Sniper says thank you. And No Ego sending out hearts in the chat and says love you too, bro. Aw, thanks. And what's your tip for going off grid? Leo, my tip for going off grid, it depends where you live. Up here, just know that it is not cheap. living off grid is very expensive up here. Where I live, we don't get a lot of sun. And so relying on solar is just not that reliable. If you want to have the modern amenities, like I've got an electric well, I've got deep freezers, fridges, I've got, what's the other big power draw? I mean, my animals. I got heated water dishes for all my animals, and each one of those is rocking a heat pump, which is just drawing electricity. And so, because I can't rely on solar in the winters up here for all that electricity, I gotta run a generator, which burns a ton of diesel. And when you live this far north, diesel costs a lot of money to get it shipped up to you. You gotta have a lot of storage to make it affordable. And so I would say, if you wanna live off grid, there's two ways to do it. One, live off grid, but still have some amenities. Or go full off grid. We're talking doing your laundry in a tub basin by hand, using a manual pump, all that fun stuff. At which point it is cheaper, but a lot more work and a lot more time consuming. We kind of mix off grid with a little bit of modern lifestyle. I mean, I do heat my house by firewood alone. And, you know, I do what I can. I do have solar, I do have panels and batteries and all that fun stuff. But, yeah, it's not as cheap as people say, up here anyway. We're checking our hole. Ooh, we got to go about 3 more inches. We're getting close, guys. And no, nobody take that and clip it out of context. 3 more inches to go into the hole. We're so close. Just a little more. We can do it. Don't stop. And pull it out. And that, you guys, is how I have 5 children. Sorry, that might have been a little inappropriate. I'm starting to lose my mind. My brain is frozen, and I think I'm funny in my own head. Okay, let's catch up on the chat. And we have some dude figured out how to use motor oil as diesel. YouTube it. So there are ways to use used oil for heat. I don't know, not for a generator though. It just burns too sooty, too dirty. It clogs up all the injectors. But I do have a friend who reclaims all the oil to heat his garage. And then he actually reclaims kind of contaminated. Oh, we're losing you guys to the wind. Sorry guys, the wind is picking up in this snowstorm. But yeah, he does reclaim vegetable oils and stuff for the summer to do his generator. A lot of us are off grid up here. We all do it kind of our own. But yeah, a lot of us are off grid. And is wood available or not practical? Yeah, I heat my place with wood. I got nothing but forest up here, so I live solely off the wood off grid here. Oh, my phone is just ticking to me that I'm down to 20%. This cold weather is just killing that battery. So, and the wind is picking up. It is getting nasty out here. If I lose you guys, consider subscribing so we can continue this conversation another time. Just something to throw out there. And yes, we're in northern Canada, and Leos thinks I'm funny. Thank you. JFK, where are you? Far north in Canada. Harith says, wow, I'm from Malaysia. It's astonishing that right here it's 8:30 a.m., but the snow there practically did not let me know what time it is. It is currently 7:30 p.m. here. How much land are you on? 156 acres. I have about 30 acres of farm field, and then the rest, the 126, is forest. I'm cutting trails back there, doing all sorts of work, developing the land. This was just a old cabin from an American. They had this place, but after COVID, they weren't allowed to come up to Canada, and so they sold it. Thankfully, I was the lucky buyer. And so, yeah, we've had this place a year and a half, and we are developing it every day. We fully gutted the cabin. It was just a 3-season. We turned it into a year-round, insulated it, ripped out all the water lines, redid it all. And yeah, we are living up here off-grid. And Preston says 1 hour, 6 minutes from me in the US South. Right on, my friend. And Ashton says, do you guys have wild horses up there? No, up here in Canada, we don't have any wild horses. They're all domestic. No wild horses up here. And Harris says, it's hot and humid here. It is cold and humid here. And do you have any ducks? I do. We are actually in the process of hatching 41 eggs right now. We are on day 6 of our incubator. So we have 41 ducks being hatched as we speak. And Seth, is just to know how much is land. Up here in the middle of nowhere, it's if you want to be on the water like I am, it's around $2,000 an acre. So still a lot cheaper than a lot of places in America, and even closer to cities in Canada, but about $2,000 an acre. And Frankie asked, I meant wild duck, sorry, yes. Actually, this is my lake behind me. And on this lake, there is a bunch of wild rice that grows. And with that wild rice comes wild ducks. In the fall, during hunting season, they'll come into this bay by the thousands. I live in an area where we have conservation laws. You're only allowed to get I think it's 5 ducks in a day. And you got to be careful. When the thousands of them are in there, one shot and you're going over your limit. So you got to be careful. And hi, Ashley. Hello from camp. Hello, Ashley. How you doing? I hope it is a little warmer where you are. And Chet says, where are you located? That's snowing in mid-May in northern Canada. We are in the far north in Canada. In fact, my phone's about to die. Let's go warm up in the truck for a minute. We'll plug you guys in. We got to turn this might mess us up. We are going to try plugging in for a second so I can catch up with the chat, warm up for a second. Got 10, my boots are just full of slush. Look at this snow. All this snow, my boots are just slushy clay mud mess. Sorry, we don't want to lose you guys. We don't want to end the chat this early. We're going to try to plug in our phone. We got to turn the Bluetooth off if we're going to do this, so that the conversation doesn't get a little too messed up. Let's turn that Bluetooth off. Oh boy, you guys tell me if I mess this up. And we're going to drop you guys off the tripod. Tell me if we lose the chat, because we are trying to do this so we can keep chatting. I don't want to shake the hat off. I want to keep the snow, but I want to plug in to try to keep the battery going. There we go. We are in. Let's turn the heat up, try to warm up a little bit at least. Can you guys still hear me, or did I mess it up by going over to my truck? You tell me if the audio is still there. We're gonna close the door and hang out for a second. Oh. Yeah, we might melt some of this snow. See if we can make a little snowman on the top of the head. Oh, there's our little snowman. We got one snowball started, and all good. It sounds like I didn't lose you guys, but we're charging the phone. Let's see if we can get it up 5-10%. It's a little blizzard out here. I just realized that I had left my window open earlier. I'm gonna have to wipe that down. Oh boy, roll that window back up. We got a bunch of snow in there. And okay, guys, I'm catching up with the chat. Give me a second here. And what is your hat made of? I don't know. It's a cowboy hat. It is I have no idea, but it's made in the USA. It's leather. It's probably cow leather. And CU says, can I buy the land and rent it to hunters? Up here in northern Canada, you absolutely can. That is a thing that happens all the time. And how do you go about heavy? Ashton, what are you trying to say? How do you go about hay thoroughbred? Ashley, I think the reason you're not seeing anything. Oh, are you asking about horses? Priesthoff says, I've been so cold where my brain would tell me not to do something, but it wouldn't register and I would still do it. Stepped in front of a dump truck. I was so cold, I couldn't focus. First and last time. Well, at least you're still here. That sounds like a good way to get yourself unalived. So I'm glad you're okay. And Ashton says, do you have any horses? No, I don't have any horses, not yet. We had some friends offering to give us some horses, but I'm still finishing my my other barn build, And so I didn't want to have to build a whole nother barn just to get the horses. So we decided not to get them yet. I don't want to rush into anything. I don't want the animals to suffer at all. So we take it one animal at a time, one step at a time. We don't want to get overwhelmed. Too many people jump into too many things at once. We do a lot of breeding with our animals, which makes it a whole nother level. You know, we breed our ducks, our rabbits, our cows, our goats, not our pigs, not yet. We are just going to do the pigs for meat, and then maybe next year we will consider breeding pigs. But we don't want to jump into too much at once. And how does your wife like homesteading? She loves it. She loves it. She's having a blast out here. She likes doing the morning, you know, collecting duck eggs and milking the goats, hanging out with the animals. So yeah, she basically is in charge of sourcing and finding the animals she wants, and then I just go get them and I build the stuff to take care of them. But it's a nice symbiotic thing. That's one thing I wanted to talk about with homesteading. You see it time and time again where one person gets it in their head that they want to do it, and they will drag their partner into it. Don't do that. Don't do that. You guys both have to be on board, because there's going to be times, like I have a bad back, and there's times where my back's thrown out. During that time, my wife has to step up, and she's got to muck the barn. She's got to, you know, repair the fencing. She's got to get out there and help me work on the generator. It is not a one-person job, and vice versa, right? When we had our newest baby, while she was pregnant, you know, I was out there helping with milking the goat and collecting the eggs and doing all that. So it's definitely a two-person passion. You both have to like it. You both have to want to do it. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy in your relationship. I'm slowly getting her on board on the live streams. So she's a little more camera shy than I am, but slowly she's getting into it. She's liking it. And so my wild wife is going to be making herself more and more present as we continue these streams. For now, most of the streams are me, but she's slowly making herself known. Ashton, how big is your land? We are on 156 acres. We got about 30 acres of farm field, and the rest is forest. And are the kids old enough to help yet? I am just dripping all over myself here. Yes, my oldest is 8. My second oldest is 6. They are both very good helpers. Awesome to have on the homestead. And Eric says hi. Hello, Eric. Welcome back to the chat. It is snowing out there. We got a nice little snowball on our head. We're warming up in the truck, recharging the phone, and we are melting. It's just dripping off the brim of the hat. This is probably terrible for the hat. This is probably terrible for I'm gonna take this. We're gonna leave the snowball. We're gonna move it over. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna distribute the water to the side. We are losing all of our progress on our head. Frosty is dying. Frosty the snowman is mad at me right now. I'm sorry, Frosty. I'll try to get you some more friends over here. Try to push more snow down into the crook. Ugh, gotta aim the heat down in my truck. I don't know, man. I'm second guessing how good of an idea this is. Oh well, it is what it is. I don't think we're gonna ruin the hat. The leather will be fine. Let me check where the battery's at here, guys. We are up to 36%. We have gained 16%. We are doing great. I think just the phone warming up enough is good. And Ashton, do you know how to get a thoroughbred horse? I've been trying to research on Google, but I haven't really come across anything really. I honestly don't know. Up here, it's all word of mouth. It's all who you know. If you know someone with horses, that's how you get horses. Yeah. And Seth asks, are you in your 20s or 30s? I am in my mid-30s. I actually had a YouTube video recently that I thought it would be a fun game, because I get asked that question a lot. I look both old and young at the same time. And so, yeah, I'm 33. 33. Without the beard, I'd look 23. Without the grays, you'd probably put me closer to 33. And Priest of, could you kill your phone screen? Be careful. Cold will kill your phone screen. Yeah, I was streaming at minus 40 Fahrenheit, minus 45 Fahrenheit. My phone would die after about 20 minutes. Mel, how you doing, Mel? Oh, we are just dripping a storm here. We are getting soaked. It is snowing. We got ice on the hat. We are collecting water. And Killuminati says, see any grizzlies out there? Where I live, there's no grizzlies. Where I live, because I live a little, I don't live on the lake or on the ocean. Thank you, Mel. we don't have salmon where I live, and so there's no grizzlies. We do have black bears, lots of black bears, but no grizzlies. And what would be the advantage of horses? The only advantage of horses would be to put them to work. If I wanted to use them to plow the fields, to drag logs out of the bush, and just to ride around for fun. But that's one of the main reasons I haven't got horses yet. Most of our animals are for food products, whether it be milk or eggs or meat. And so we don't have horses yet because they're not as useful on the homestead. Again, maybe one day, but I think we'll probably get a donkey before we get a horse, because at least the donkey will go after the foxes and the coyotes. So yeah, Darlene, how you doing? We have had a bump in live stream out here, chatting away with everybody. We are going to move back out into the yard here. We are going to go keep augering posts. I want to get at least 2 more done before I run out of light. So the phone is properly recharged. We are back up to 38%. That is good enough to keep going. So we got to keep this snowball growing. We got to get back out there. We got to collect more snow from the brim of the hat. It is a blizzard out there. Let's get back to it, guys. I'm going to unplug you and turn the truck off. We're going back out there. Back into the blizzard. Get my gloves back. Get you guys back on the tripod. And let's keep this rolling. Seth, that's nice. They are fun. But bang for your buck. Get the pun. They are fun. Fight. Bang for your buck. Is this a comment on the donkeys? Is this on the donkeys eating the foxes and the coyotes? When you got brain freeze like this, you're not that punny. I'm not that witty. But we are out here. Let's get this keep going. Seth says horses. And what extreme temperatures do you have to deal with? Well, the coldest we get where I am is -50. And at -50, everything sucks. Actually, if you guys go back and you look through some of my thumbnails, go through my folder of live streams and look at my thumbnails, you're gonna see somewhere I was live streaming at -45, -50. And the hair on your face, the moisture in the air sticks to it. It freezes. Your eyes start to freeze shut. Your beard frosts up. Yeah, it's wild. That -50 is nasty business. Oh, okay. Now that I warmed up, I'm cold. So now we got to get working again, because we just lost all that hard work we're doing. Joel says, where are you? We are in the far north in Canada, off-grid, installing fence posts in the snow. We got to reclaim our snowman. We got to get more snow on our head. I let it melt when I warmed up. And George says, thank you for the chat. How do you make a living? Well, I run a logistics company for my father. We live in completely different areas. He's down in a city and I'm up here in the middle of nowhere. And so I help manage his logistics company for him. So that is what I do. We got a whole whack of employees under us, and we keep busy. And any wildfire risks? Yes. We have a ton of wildfires in the area right now. I was traveling the other day, and there's areas up here where the roads are closed and evacuations are going on. Nasty fires right now. What happened was we had a super hot heat wave, plus 35 degrees Celsius right during our spring melt. And what that did was, instead of letting all the snow melt into the ground for the trees and for the grass to absorb, it started to evaporate off the surface. And so it ended up just leaving the forest floor super dry. And right when all the trees are sucking all the water out. So all the trees are sucking all the water out of the ground. The sun is coming down hot and evaporating what else it can. And it just made everything super dry. This snow is gonna help a little bit. It's gonna bring the temperatures down. It's gonna help combat the fires that way. But if you look at firesmoke.ca, so it's firesmoke.ca, it actually maps out where all the fires in Canada are. There's fires everywhere up here right now. It is nasty. Try to get this down just a little more. I think I gotta go another 2 inches or inch. We're gonna remeasure our hole here. We'll see how close we are to putting this post in. I think we're close. Last I checked. About 2 more inches and then this hole is good. We're going 3 feet down with these post holes. We're gonna build a nice sturdy fence for our apple orchard. Gotta make it fairly sturdy so that the goats and the cows and stuff can't just push it over. Yes, Mel says I have fished in -46 with the wind chill factor. That's nasty. I am not an ice fisher. I do not like going out on the ice when the wind's howling across. It is not for me. And Pre-Stuff says, are you going to take over the family business or leaning toward farming? I don't see why both can't be true. And Fiddler Green says, super dry. I have dry sand for a yard that's 3 feet deep. No rain since January. Was 96 today. The problem up here when it's super dry is just we have so many forests. All around me, minus my lake. It's all forest. Even on the other side of the lake, it's all forest. And so when it's super dry out, there is just a lot of tinder to go up in flame. And Toby says, hello from Little Rock Air Force Base in Jacksonville, Arkansas, USA. 22 years active duty. Well, we are in different countries, but I appreciate the vets. I appreciate the soldiers. So good for you, Toby. Thank you for keeping your country safe, and if we're being honest, for keeping mine safe, because nobody wants to mess with Canada while Big Brother is taking care of us. So, we caught you. We caught the tripod. I'm sorry if the audio is getting terrible with that wind blowing at you guys. I'm imagining you guys can probably hear the wind howling. Let's try to give you guys a bit of the lake view. Oh boy. Mike, how you doing, Mike? And Seth says most. Most what? Most what, Seth? Did I overspeak? We're almost done this hole. Gotta put a little bit of work into it, finish this one off, and then we can go on to the next one. I am hoping it's gonna be nicer tomorrow, because I want to plant these dang apple trees tomorrow. And it is cold out. Oh, I love French fries and gravy with maple syrup. Don't forget the cheese curds. You'll get yourself a classic poutine. A poutine. Oh, if I keep disappearing, it's because I'm almost done this hole. So I keep got to bend over to finish digging this dang hole. Okay. One more, and we'll call it on this one. And Ben Outdoors. Hello, Ben. How you doing, friend? All y'all, feel free to check out Ben Outdoors channel. Ben is a young rising YouTube celebrity out here, bumping 1.8, 1.9 thousand subscribers. Awesome outdoor content. He's got some really cool truck content as well. Check out Ben Outdoors for more. Okay. It is so cold out. I'm gonna get this post in the hole. There we go. Whew. Yes, it is freezing out here. George says, never had maple syrup on my fries and gravy. Gonna try that. I have had a pancake poutine before. Toby, why does Han Solo dislike steak burritos from Taco Bell? Because they're chewy. I thought he would like that very much. Doesn't he like chewy? Isn't Chewbacca his friend? I'm not exactly on my string line on this one. I'm a little bit off, but not much. Not much. I'm about half an inch back, but I don't think that'll make that big of a difference. I don't think. We ain't redigging it. We're not chopping it down to get closer. That's going to be good enough. Okay, we're going to double check with our board that we're in a good spot before we go start digging the next hole. Okay, so that is there, and that's there. Okay, we got to make sure that we are as far to this left corner as we can, because that was not my finest job. That ought to do, I mean, if I have to trim some boards, I'll trim some boards to make it work. What am I doing? I'm trying to get it all perfect without having to cut. I can walk back to the house and I can cut some wood. And David says, where are you? It's 94 degrees in Biloxi, Mississippi. I am up here in northern Canada. I'm losing my snowman. I was trying to build Frosty the snowman on the top of my head, but I went and warmed up in my truck to recharge the phone, and we lost part of Frosty. Frosty melted. I'm up here in the far north in northern Canada, living off-grid homesteading. Oh, Toby's throwing out another joke. I gotta pre-read it to make sure you're not trapping me, my friend. How did Darth Vader know what Luke Skywalker was getting for Christmas? He felt his presence, a pun on the name presence. Thank you, Toby. You keep throwing these out here. Just don't trick me. I gotta pre-read them because some people are trolls, and I gotta pre-read it. We're not getting caught in one of those scandals today. And George says, you're a hard worker. You need to go inside now. Thank you for the video. George, thanks for sticking around. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate you. It is cold. It is snowy. We probably only have about a half hour of daylight left. And no, this is northern Canada. We are up here in the far north in Canada where we got snow on the top of our head. It's a bit of a blizzard here. This isn't even, I didn't pick this up off the ground. This has accumulated on my head. I just keep kind of shoveling it into a snowball. And Toby says, Confucius says, that woman who flies plane upside down has crack up. You are a goofball. Toby says, I'm a military police. Right on, sir. Right on. Well, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you for not trolling me. I've been caught in a few of them. The worst ones are when I like to give shout outs to people. So we got Ben here, Ben Outdoors. When I got fellow YouTubers, people out here doing their thing, I like to give them some shout out, some credit. And so every once in a while, someone will say, hey, can you give my friend Ben Outdoors a shout out? And I will. I'll tell everyone, go check him out, see what he's all about. But then someone will follow up with, oh, can you give insert inappropriate name when said at a Starbucks? Here. And every once in a while I will, because I won't always pre-read it. And so when people are saying stuff like jokes and I'm repeating them, I gotta pay attention, because sometimes people trip me up. And what type of wood are the stakes? Will they rot? This is a pressure treated 4x4 spruce. So spruce is a type of tree that will rot, but it's very soft. It's a softwood, so it absorbs chemicals very well. So these are pressure treated, meaning basically they pressure blast the chemical all the way through it. So these are fully saturated with chemicals. I don't know, preservative. So these won't rot. A lot of my fence posts are made out of cedar. So if we look over here, what we'll often do up here in the far north is these ones right there. Those are just straight up trees. We'll cut down some cedar trees, which are naturally rot resistant, and we'll use those for fence posts often. I just happened to be through a city yesterday, and so I decided to pick up a ton of wood while I was down there. So I figured, you know what, save myself the work of cutting down trees and dragging them out of the bush, and just buy the posts. I do a bit of both. My barn has a bunch of cedar trees that I've cut and thrown up. My fencing, ton of cedar trees. These store-bought posts. I think this is going to be pretty good here. Okay, we're gonna go on to the next post. We're gonna get the next one set up. So give me 1 second, grab another board, set it here, and we're gonna get the next hole started. Let's move you guys over. And Seth asks, what species are in your forest? Mostly spruce? Any maple? Where I am, my trees are birch, spruce, pine, fir. So that's like, it's kind of a generalization because there's a little bit of jack pine, there's white pine. Actually, if you see, these two big trees right here are white pines right by my house. they get really big. White pines are beautiful. And so we named our property White Pines Homestead. So we have a sign at the front of the property. It's beautiful, White Pines Homestead. But yeah, cedar. I got the second half of my property is all cedars. It's a cedar grove. It's awesome for building fences. You know, it's nice having that resource right on the property. So cedars, birch, pine, yeah, no maples. Where I am, I don't have any maple trees. It's too cold up here. The maple trees, you can plant them and they could do okay, but they don't grow naturally up here. It's just too cold. They are my #1 favorite tree in the fall. When you're driving through areas that have them, they're just beautiful. But yeah, none up here. And Toby says subscribe and like the channel. Thank you, Toby. I appreciate the shout out. Thank you. If you guys are liking what you see, if you're liking hanging out with me, which I appreciate talking to you guys, and those who are just watching, thanks for watching. But feel free to talk. If you guys talk, I'm talking back. So ask away any questions, chat with me, and I'll chat with you guys. And yeah, we are trying to live stream 3 to 4 times a week, typically around this time. On the weekend, sometimes I'll get online during the day. But what I tend to do is I wait till my kids are sleeping. Once my kids are sleeping, I will jump on live stream. I don't like live streaming when my kids are awake because I don't want them on the screen. I don't really want them interacting. You know, just the internet's a weird place sometimes. And so I keep them off the stream. So when they're sleeping, we're streaming. And yeah, sometimes during the day on a weekend, I'll stream for a bit. If I'm doing something like it's miserably cold out here, they don't want to come outside with me, then I will tell them, if you guys want to stay inside, call me if you need me. Otherwise, I'll be out here. And Toby says, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Yahweh the Rabbi, Bethlehem equals breaking bread, John 3:16, Acts 2:38, and John 3-5. Shouting out them Bible verses. And Matt says, who? Seth says, White Pines, lots of history. Did you know the English king in 1500s made a law with penalty of death if anyone but the crown harvested white pine over a certain diameter? That's cool to know. That's cool to know. They're a beautiful tree. They stand out in the horizon. They're my wife's favorite tree, which is awesome. She took that as a sign. When we came and first looked at this place, we had a really nice house in a city. We lived on a lake, very luxurious looking property. And this opportunity to come out here and get away from town, get away from cities, live in the middle of nowhere and live off the land came up. And we had talked about it, but like we were talking like our 10-year plan. We weren't planning on doing it right away. But like all 10-year plans, once you get the idea in your head, you kind of accelerate things a little bit. And so when this property came up, I sent it to her and we came out and we looked at it. She saw the white pines. She said, yep, it's mine. And here we are, a year and a half later, and we are living out here, living the good life. Is that all your land? Yes. I have 156 acres. It's a peninsula. So we got water over here. We got the lake. We got the fields, the farm. There's a chunk of forest there, I guess, so you can't really see the fields where I'm standing. But there's a whole whack of fields there, a bunch of forest, all that fun stuff. And Georgia says, thanks, Justin, for a great evening. My pillow is calling me. Have a good night, Georgia. Take care and stay warm. So, yeah, we are just up here doing our thing. I'm going to grab a shovel because I got to get this next hole started. I want to get one more hole in, one more post in before I call it a night here. It takes me about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to do a single hole, a little longer while we're chatting. And Toby says, make a good storm cellar for the future. Are we calling for lots of storms or lots of bombs? What's the word in the military? Grabbing a shovel. Okay. We got to make sure we do a good job getting this one started because my last one was a little bit too far that away. So we got to make sure we are perfect here. So we are going to start this hole. Let's go back 2 inches to about there. This should be better. Oh, the top layer of the ground is starting to freeze. So it's getting harder to dig by the shovel. I can hear the ice just crackling as I try to cut through the grass. I guess I should probably go back a little bit further if I want this to be nice and square. Sorry guys. Lily, hi Lily. Lily was a very proud girl earlier. She managed to catch a mouse. So she was very happy. And Britton says, where are you? I see it's snowing. We are in the far north in Canada. My hands are frozen. My nose is frozen. My toes are frozen. And Frosty is a little bit melted because I went and warmed up in my truck a little while ago. But yeah, we are in the far north in Canada, middle of nowhere, off-grid homestead, freezing our tail off. We are building fencing. I plan to be planting 14 apple trees tomorrow, but it is taking me forever to dig these holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one will be 7 out of 34, 32, 34, something like that. So we got a long way to go. We're gonna be digging holes all day tomorrow. Hopefully it's warmer. What temperature does it get to in the summer? In the summer, we get up to about 40 degrees Celsius. What's that? 40 degrees Celsius, like almost 90 Fahrenheit? 90 Fahrenheit. And Georgia says, white pine cannot be cut down if over 6 inches in diameter. Is that a rule up here in Canada as well? I suppose it is. A protected tree. A beautiful tree. And nice dog. Yes, she is. She's looking miserable right now, though. She's wet and cold, too. Lily, what are we looking at? Come over here. Come over here. Look, sit. Oh, I don't want to get clay on you. You're a good girl. Stay, stay, stay. Sit. Stay. She just wants my attention. You gonna go hunting? You gonna catch a rabbit or something? Oh, she almost caught a wild rabbit the other night. The other night we were streaming and a wild rabbit jumped out of the bush and she went after it. But she didn't get it. She is a yellow lab golden retriever mix. She's a very nice dog. She's almost, I want to say she's 1.5 years. She's 1.5 years old. So she's still a puppy, but she's a very well-mannered puppy. She takes good care of all the animals on the homestead. She gets along with the pigs. The pigs, I think, are her favorite. The goats sometimes throw headbutts at her, so she doesn't always get along with them. Oh, we're back down to 20% battery. This cold weather is just so hard on the phone. And Mr. B says hi. And Toby says, I own a black wolf lab. Nice, nice. And Gino asks where we are located. Sorry, Toby, I know you said something up ahead about the bombs. I want to scroll up and see about the storm shelter. What are we saying? Oh, no, you didn't respond. Toby, why do I need a storm shelter? What do you know that I don't know? Storm shelter or bomb shelter? Okay, Seth, you take care, man. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. This has been a good stream, a long stream, and I appreciate everyone chatting. If I miss your comments, because we are working while we're talking, just repeat it. Just say it again, and I will try to respond. It's hard to respond to everything. Horse Girl says hi. Hi, Horse Girl. How you doing? And Melissa says, oh, my fingers are frozen. My gloves are soaking wet, so my hands are getting cold. Dude, it's literally 88 degrees Fahrenheit in my house right now. I take a smidge of snow. Well, I've been saving some just for you. Melissa, you can come get it. Come up to White Pines Homestead in far north Canada, and you can have yourself a snowball off the top of my head. And White Pines, my friend, did you just rename yourself White Pines after we were talking about White Pines, or is Google listening? And yes, thank you for saying you love my channel. I love all you guys. We're having a good time. Where are you? Sandy asks. We are in northern Canada, the far north where it's still snowing. It is middle of May and it is cold. It is nasty. My hands be cold. And White Pine says, I may have. You just wanted to get my attention. Well, you have it, White Pines. You have it. And Toby says, underground shelter is good for a lot of things. Wine and foods. Okay. Well, you tell me you're in the military and you tell me to build a shelter and you make me nervous that you know something I don't know. And yeah, but you're just telling me to store my food. Actually, I plan to build another house out here in a few years. And what I want to do is off the kitchen, I want to have a underground cellar built right off the kitchen. And in my head, I'm imagining my cabinets along the back wall and a section of the cabinets being hinged so that the cabinets will roll away to reveal the access to the underground food storage. We do a lot of canning, a lot of pressure canning and water bath canning, and so having some cold storage would be awesome. Right now, if I want cold storage, I just throw my food on my deck. How old are you? Gino. I am 33 years old. And Josu says, the hell, what time is it here? It is 8:13 p.m. 8:13 p.m. Jordan asks, what you up to? We are digging fence hole posts. We are on post 7. The clay is frozen and the ground is hard. And it takes me about 30 minutes per hole to dig it by hand. It is awful. And the clay keeps sticking to my digger. My auger. So, it is heavy. This is tiring work. My fingers are gonna fall off soon, but that's okay, because we're having a good time. And my friend is living out there on that big farm. You need to invest in a gas auger. I'm learning that now. By the time this is done, I won't need one. And Ben says, gotta go awesome live. Thanks, Ben, you take care. And Matt, how are you able to afford all this land in your early 30s? I'm impressed. Well, up here in Northern Canada, it's actually pretty cheap. I lived in a city. I bought my place pre-COVID. And so after COVID, Canada up here, we had a big inflation spike. And so I managed to make a good chunk of money off of the sale of my previous house. And took that money and we moved out in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, that's one way to do it. Just getting lucky through real estate. And I have a good job, that helps too. And Gino asks, you married? You bet. I have a beautiful wife and 5 kids. I got 5 boys. Oh, Lily. My phone is hating the cold. So the question is, do we keep going until the phone dies, or do I go back in the truck and recharge with you guys? You guys tell me, do we keep streaming until the phone dies, or do we go warm up in the truck and recharge and keep the chat going? This has been a fantastic conversation. What province are you in? I am in Ontario. And how long does it normally take before it's done snowing for the year? I'd say a couple more weeks. We got one saying warm up and one saying keep going. And Dwayne says keep working, of course. Okay, guys, you heard that. You know what? We're gonna see if we can do a little. How do you do it? There's a way. Maybe I can't right now. Can I? That's highlight. That's touch up. We ain't putting touch ups on. What is that? That's video. Oh boy, that's. Can I pause? Was that a pause button? How many subscribers are we at, guys? Can someone take a look and tell me how many subscribers we're at? Because I do not think I had a pause button before. Was there an update? Oh, did we update midstream? Oh, this auger is killing me. Look at that. Okay, we are at 812. So 812 subscribers. So it's not that we passed 1,000. I've never been able to pause before. Is that what this button is? Is that a pause button? Okay, I'm gonna try something here, guys. I'm gonna click that button. I'm gonna keep talking, and I want you to tell me if you can hear me. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys hear me? Are we just closing the video off but still having a conversation, or is it paused? Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? So you guys can still hear me. Okay, so I can pause the video. That's new. I've never seen that button before. So I can pause the video, but you know what? I know where I can do a poll. I know the button. Okay, guys, you know what? I was gonna do a poll, but we are gonna take this to the truck for a second. We're gonna recharge the phone so we can keep chatting. We're gonna keep chatting while I'm sitting in my truck. I'm gonna warm my hands up. I think it's time to get rid of the snowball on top of my head. Oh, bear with me because I want to catch up with all your conversation. You guys could have tricked me too. You guys could have told me that you couldn't hear me and it was an actual pause button, not just a video button. And then maybe I could have gotten in trouble saying something I shouldn't have said when I thought I was off stream. There you go. Just kidding, don't troll me. Okay, start the truck. Let's warm up for a second. What's the temperature? Oh, too cold. My fingers are going. It is, I'm showing 32 degrees in my truck, but it's gotta be colder than that. Because it's so wet, it feels a lot colder than 32. And Dwayne says, 1, 2, 3, can you hear me? Okay, yes, video closed, but we can hear you. Okay, and the reason I was asking about the subscribers is because I know at 1,000, some different features unlock, I think. I don't know, but I didn't know if that was something like the ability to pause the stream. But yeah, we're gonna let the phone warm up for a few minutes here while we chat. So we're making progress on this fence. Like, it's slow, but it's progress. And Gino says you're a cool guy. Well, thank you, Gino, and I appreciate that. And Toby says May 31st is baptized day and 1st of June is Salvot, the counting of their Omer Jewish holiday. And Kim says, Toby, chill out. We're taking our snowball. We're gonna put it up. Ah! We dropped our snowball. I don't know. I think I'm gonna put my snowball on my coffee cup. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, it is cold. What you fencing in? Melissa, I am making a apple orchard. So I got my apple trees in the mail. I've got 14 apple trees. I think 2 of them are plum trees. I don't know. My wife ordered them and told me build me a fence. So I'm fencing in an area that's 7 feet by 40 feet. I'm gonna have a gate off the front, a gate off the back. We got the lake back there. If you can kind of see it through the... And so my plan is to take my old well pump and throw it in the lake and run a generator, a portable generator, to water the garden. So that's my plan. We're going to, we're also building a garden up ahead, but right now, apple orchard. And wildlife is educational. Well, thank you, Toby. And Gino asks, how many acres you have there? It's 156 acres, 156. But yeah, I see my wife coming out. What does she have? Does she have a baby? I think my wife is coming out with the baby. She might be coming to help us. Toby says, get gutters and rain barrels. I do have gutters, but no, I haven't set up any rain barrels yet. I do want to put rain barrels off of my barn to help with watering the animals. I do have an automatic waterer set up, but for things like the rabbits, I have to manually run water out to them. We're gonna see what my wife has to say. Maybe she's coming out. She's got a bottle in her hand and a baby, but she didn't bring the stroller, so I don't think she's coming to help me. I think she's just coming to check. Let's see what she has to say. We got to warn her that we're on live stream so nothing bad gets said. Hey, hon.
I thought I could read your comments for you.
Oh, you wanna read the comments?
Well, I gotta
flip your hat around, silly.
I'm not supposed to be on camera right now.
Why?
Because I'm not meant to be on camera. I gotta feed the baby.
Nobody can see the baby in the blanket.
No, but I have to feed him, so I'm not gonna be on camera right now.
Oh, come on. Flip your hat around. And, you're not going to feed him out here. It's snowing.
Yeah, literally.
It is. Oh, well, with a bottle, that's fine. Nobody's going to see the baby. Any deer? Yes, I shot 2 deer off the property in the fall. They don't come too close to the house because of the dog, but in the back fields they'll come. So I'm not too worried about deer in the apple orchard. I'm more worried about my goats and my cow. That's my main concern. And George says, I have 3 daughters. Is that the same as 5 boys? How old are the daughters? That's the question. And new greenhouse blueprints are available free online. Yeah, I think at some point, I don't know if we'll do a greenhouse, but
I would love a greenhouse.
my wife says she would love a greenhouse. So I'm sure one day we will do a greenhouse. And Gino says, you are melting now. I know, it's just pouring off of my head.
That means get back to work.
I know, but my hands are so cold and my phone is so low.
I'll just,
We are at
Hey, good job on the post.
27% battery.
Have you showed everybody?
And
how
is
to
your hat
post the car?
backwards? Can you turn it around? Ugh, don't mind my hair being a mess, but I don't think it's backwards. There's like a little bow on that side, and pure wood, pure wool made in the USA. I'm pretty sure it's not backwards. I'm pretty.
The tag goes in the back.
The tag, yeah, but there's a little bow tie.
Let's see. Oh, the bow tie goes in the back.
The bow tie definitely goes in the back. The bow goes in the back. I'm telling you guys. Will you do chickens in a beehive? My wife would love.
Can I answer?
Yes, but you got to come on screen.
All right. So we
Here,
definitely.
wait.
Oh, okay.
The channel's name is My Wild Life, and I like to call her My Wild Wife. So, here's my wild wife with a baby.
With a baby. So definitely we'll do bees eventually. Chickens, honestly, I don't feel a need to do chickens. We do ducks. They're dual purpose, so we use them for meat as well as for layers, and they can all live together. It's not like you need your separate meat birds or anything like that. And they're really happy. I just love the ducks so much that I just don't see a need for chickens.
Gino says she's beautiful.
Aw, you're sweet.
She is beautiful. She's camera shy because she's like, I didn't put any makeup
Well,
on.
probably because I'm like exhausted.
I'm tired. I got a baby. I didn't sleep. I am a lucky man, and she's holding our newest baby. How old is he? 3 months?
He's 1 month old.
Gotta be getting close to 2.
No, he's 1 month.
We got a 1-month-old baby. Every day blends in when you're busy. And Toby says she is beautiful, but don't let it go to her head. Toby,
You're funny.
you didn't tell me I was beautiful. I want my hat to not fit on my head. You can come on.
Okay, but guys, don't you think you should be building my beautiful orchard fence?
She is a slave driver. Okay, when we get to 30% battery, we will get back out there. We're at 28%. We got 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes for my fingertips to warm up, and then I'll get this next pole in.
All right.
Ugh.
Looking good though.
Oh, it is slow progress. The ground is starting to freeze, so it's
Aw,
like
man.
really hard to dig, but it is what it is. And Gino asked, how far are you from a hospital? It is like about an hour from a hospital. It's a bit of a journey. And Dwayne says, catch you later, bedtime for me. Dwayne, you take care, my man. You have yourself a good night. We are talking to people from all different time zones. Some people it's the morning, some people it is very late. So I appreciate all of you guys for joining me. And no matter what time zone it is, you are all welcome here. Thank you. And Gino says, wow, yes, my beautiful wife is our homeschool teacher. She teaches the kids. She used to be a nurse. I used to be an engineer. So we have some education behind us. And so, yeah, we homeschool the kids. My wife does 99.99% of the homeschooling. But hopefully when they get older and the curriculum gets harder, I'll step up and I'll take over. Some of it. And Toby says, 8:25 p.m. in Arkansas. Toby, we are in the same
You're
time
in
zone.
Arkansas. Oh, that's cool.
We are in the same time zone. Matthew says, wow, still snowing where you live? Yes, it is cold. It is snowy. It is freezing here. It is literally 32 degrees, but it feels colder because it's wet.
You said it's 32 degrees?
Fahrenheit.
Okay.
32
What
Fahrenheit.
are you talking about?
And David says, beautiful couple. Well, thank you, David.
You've been
And
talking
Gino
to
says,
a
I was a nurse for 22 years.
Oh,
Right on,
nice.
Gino. And 9FNP says, how far away is your closest neighbor? I'd put them at about 3 miles away. 3 miles away. My wife's going to get super confused because I talk American.
I was just going to say, so now we're talking in
Mo-
miles.
Most y'all are American, so I try to conform to the American standard here. What if anything ever happens to Canada that we got to learn the imperial system? I'm practicing. And T-Sav says, bro, why is the baby outside? Well, he's wrapped in a blanket and he's eating.
So he's wrapped up in 2 blankets. His little eyes are just peeking out. I've got him warm. It's just a nice little bit of cold on his face. He's used to it, so.
And Wiggle Giggle asks if there is any solar to, there's my solar panel. Oh boy, my fingers can't zoom in because my phone is wet, but these things right about there, those are my solar panels. The screen won't let me zoom because my hands are cold and wet. So I can't zoom, but yes, we are running some solar. The generator is running right now because it's so gray, cloudy, and cold. But yeah, and TSAP says, may God be with you both. Thank you. And the baby is fine, guys. Matthew says, everyone relax. The baby's going to be okay.
Thank you, Matthew.
The baby can survive minus 50. It'll be okay at 0 or minus 32. And George says, I am now a new subscriber. Thank you, George. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you guys.
Yay.
Whether you subscribe, you don't subscribe, you unsubscribe, you resubscribe, you half subscribe. I appreciate you all. And where are all the boys? They are all sleeping. They are all sleeping at the house. It's just up there. They're all sleeping. I guess we don't have a walkie-talkie or anything out. The older ones just come out and get us.
I was going to say, on that note, I am going to have to go back in anyway. So I'll have you saying goodbye.
Did you just come out to, like, slave drive me? You're like, oh, I think he's in his truck. I should go get him out of there.
I'm not going to answer that question. Goodbye.
Okay, bye. Okay, we're going to turn the truck off. We're going to get back to work. I wish I had warmer gloves. If I knew she was coming out, I would have told her to get me a fresh pair of gloves. Okay, we're going to get back out there. We're going to get back to work. We are back up to 30% battery. I said I was going to go back out and start working. Toby says, get Elon Starlink. I do have Elon Starlink, but Elon Starlink still runs off of a router, and the router is up by the house. So instead, we are just maxing out our data plan. We did hit our data cap last month. We ran out of data. It is what it is. Yeah, so let me unplug here. Witch says hi. Hi, Witch Gaming. How you doing? Witch Gaming? That sounds like a YouTube channel. Witch, do you have your own channel? You let me know in the comments. And I want people to check you out. Let me turn the truck off and get back out there. I'm taking a little break to warm up because it's miserable. And my phone is on the verge of death. So I wanted to charge it for a second in the truck. That way we can get another 15 minutes out of you guys. Okay. Oh. And all y'all, we are having one of the best streams we have had. Probably by the time this ends, this will probably be our #1 stream because you guys are fantastic. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for sticking around. Let's get back to work and we'll keep the conversations going. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. We are off-grid, freezing our tail off in the snow. It is snowy. It is cold. And would trade the cold weather today. You know what? You give me half of your temperature, I'll give you half of mine. Deal? Let's shake on it. Okay, we're going to set you guys back up. We got to keep digging this hole. Oh, it is such slow going with this manual auger. Jennifer, how you doing, Jennifer? Oh, the ground is frozen. My hands are frozen. But we got to keep digging. And my auger keeps clogging full of clay. There we go. Man, this is hard work, I tells you what. And you have any brothers or sisters? I have one brother. Lives far, far away from me. And Richard says hello from beautiful San Diego, California. Well, hello from northern Canada, the far north, where it is still snowing and it is still cold. And Food for Patriots has great 25-year dehydrated food and battery packs. And I'd trade. I love your snow. Where are you? We are up towards Hudson's Bay in the far north of Canada. The internet can be a weird place, so I don't get too specific, but we are in the far, far north where it is cold as can be. My hands be freezing, my face be freezing, but my wife said, get back to work. So we're back to work. Hello from Saskatchewan, forgive, repent. Hello, my friend, how are you? And Matthew says, oh, wow, Canada. Yes, far north where it's cold, and we're trying to manually dig through frozen ground with a hole auger, and it is taking forever. It takes me about, well, minus the chatting with you guys, takes me about 20-30 minutes a hole. And I got 30 of them to do. I'm only got 7 done. Oh, so we're going to be doing this all day tomorrow. Oh. Oh. Come on. But the clay keeps getting stuck in my auger. And Toby says we turn cast iron bathtubs upside down and fill with charcoal to warm cold ground for digging. That's a good idea, but it would take a lot of time, but it's a good idea. And Jennifer says, just peachy. Just glad we are almost in the no feeling and no sign of snow from Michigan, y'all. Oh, I wish we had no snow here right now. I'm cold. And turned down for what? It's already getting hot for me in North America. Toby says 80 degrees today. Yeah, we've had some people in here from like 88 degrees, 90 degrees. Apparently there's a good heat wave going through the States right now. Not up here. And Joy says, Heart, Alberta, Calgary, hi from Amsterdam. Oh. Well, hello from Amsterdam. Hello, how are you doing today? I hope it is warmer. What's the temperature in Amsterdam? And sorry if the audio is a little bit loud. The wind is howling out here right now. We're in a bit of a snow squall. It is cold, it is snowy. I'm trying to figure out how to put you guys so I can see the little bit of a lake back there. Gino says, how warm will it get there? Here in Canada, it does get warm in the summers. It does get up to like 40 degrees Celsius, like 90 Fahrenheit, close to that. Large tornado in Ada, Oklahoma. Oh boy. That's one nice thing about the far north. We might get blizzards and snowstorms, but we do not get tornadoes or earthquakes. Not where I live. We don't have to worry about tornadoes, earthquakes, tsunamis. We just gotta worry about, you know, wolves and bears and cougars scooping you up at night. But we do not have tornadoes. There are some tornadoes up here, but nothing like what you guys have. None of these twister tornadoes. Just some that pop up and knock a bunch of trees down. Nothing that'll take the roof off your house. Maybe off your barn, but not your house. My closest neighbor lost the roof off of his silage silo a number of years back. Just a normal monsoon came through. I'm ready to catch you guys. That wind is knocking the phone over. Trying to get you guys on some good ground here. And Toby says, baseball size hat. Oh, Harry says, St. Louis, Missouri tornado here. Wish I was there. You know what? I'll keep the snow. Thank you for putting it in perspective. I would rather have this cold, miserable weather than a tornado. So, I take it back. No trades, these guys. I'm keeping the snow. Y'all can't have it. Oh, man. The clay just gumming up in the auger is making this so much slower. Oh. 9 FNP says, I get cold and cry when it's in the mid 40s. Yeah, we're at about 30 degrees right now. It's chilly, it's not the coldest. It gets down to minus 50 degrees here, Fahrenheit. Did you hear that? There was a stutter in my lip. And Jennifer says 84 yesterday, 63 in the metro Detroit area. I swear our weather is bipolar. Last week it was almost 90 degrees here, and now it is 30 degrees here. And Broccoli says, you smoke cigs? I am clean as a whip, minus the mud. I actually don't drink or smoke. No cigarettes, no wacky tobacco. I don't even drink anymore. I used to, not anymore. Oh, and what does an acre of land go for there? Way up here in the middle of nowhere, it's about $2,000 an acre. It's a little more expensive here because I'm on a lake, and I got lots of acres. But yeah, that's about the going rate, between $1,000 to $2,000 an acre in the middle of nowhere. And we're going to Canada for the last 4 years. The most friendly people and good food. Well, thank you. Not all of us are friendly. There's a lot of meanies out here, but we try. At the very least, you ain't getting shot up here. Well, you could. It does happen. But you got time to react while we're filling our musket, putting gunpowder in the top, putting the BB in there, and then packing it. You got a little bit of time. You know, usually the conversation dies down by the time you get frustrated trying to load that musket. That single load. Oh, we're just out here living that Red Dead Redemption lifestyle. Oh. Not actually, but we do have a musket hunting season. That's a real thing. And you're not getting shot in the US either. I have been to the US many times. I enjoy going to the US, but I do go to the United States with the attitude of, we ain't going to pick up fights. If you go to pick a fight and someone ain't have a gun, I ain't winning. boys back in the day when we were a little rowdier and we weren't so wholesome. We'd come visit the States and have a good time. Oh, it is cold. And Sootman's phone says, did you grow up in Canada? If not, how long did it take you to get used to the cold? I have grown up here. It's always been cold. My whole life has been cold. So the one thing is our summers get really hot. And so what happens is our summers get up to about 88, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And then our winters get down to minus 40, minus 50. So going from summer to winter is a miserable transition. I was going to say translation, but that wasn't right. Summer to winter is a miserable transition, but then coming out of winter and into summer feels really nice. Like in the fall, 40 degrees Fahrenheit feels awful because you just came out of 90 degrees. But then come the spring when it's 40 degrees Fahrenheit, that feels fantastic coming off of minus 40. If you guys go back on my channel, look through my catalog of live streams, just look at the thumbnails and you're gonna see one of them I was streaming at minus 45 Fahrenheit. My whole beard just froze. I was a giant block of ice. My eyes were freezing shut, my eyebrows, my hair, just all the moisture in the air was just sticking to my face and freezing immediately. I looked hilarious. And how far are you from a grocery store? About an hour. There's a small town about an hour away that has a grocery store. It's got a small hospital. So yeah, there's that. We eat a lot of meat up here because that's what we do homesteading. So try to go to the grocery store once a week if we can get away with it. Try not to go more than that. What time is it there? It is 8:40 p.m. where I am. 8:40 p.m. And you watch too much TV thinking that way. Oh. No, I don't watch TV, but I read the news. I know it's safer than most people give credit for. Certainly safer than most parts of the world. That's for sure. And Joy for Life says, love the cold, the colder the better. I don't agree with that, but okay. And Seven says, it's still snowing there? Yes, it is cold. It's snowing. And where are you? We're in northern Canada, the far north. Think like up towards Hudson's Bay, the far north. And I'm an hour off of Virginia. And I can't believe it's that cold out there today. Yes, it's freezing. What time does it get dark there? I would say in about 20 minutes it's going to be pitch black out here. The sun is just cresting over the horizon, so as soon as it goes down, it's just like boom, nighttime. Hits you like a truck. The lights turn off. And Toby says, get Dr. Barbara Healing Herbs book for off-grid. I will check that out. I'm going to screenshot that. There. I screenshotted that. I will check it out. Any off-grid homesteading resource is a good resource. So I will check that out. White Pines still kicking around in the chat. How you doing, White Pines? And what are you fencing in or out? I'm fencing in an apple orchard. And I'm fencing out primarily my goats and my cows. This will also deter the deer. But if the deer are desperate, they're going to jump the fence to get the apple trees. But that's generally not a problem because there's so many trees and so much vegetation, and my dog is a good deer chaser. So it's generally not that big of a deal. JR says hello from Catskill Mountains of New York. Hello. Yes. And Gary says, how far is your closest neighbor? About 3 miles. About 3 miles. There's only one though. So my closest neighbor is 3 miles. My next closest, I don't know, 20 miles. And what lake is behind you? Well, that would be giving you guys way too much information. I can't tell you what lake it is, but it's a small middle of nowhere lake, not one that would appear on a map. I like a little bit of anonymity. There is a lot of crazy internet sleuths out there who I'm sure could pick up exactly who I am and where I live based on just the videos I put out there and the internet. But the internet's a weird place, so a little bit of privacy is still fun. Y'all see that? There's that one famous TikTok guy who does a lot of, what would you call it? Geo chasing or something? And the guy will like look at the color of the grass and guess what part of the world the picture was taken in. There's some wild people out there. Oh man, it is cold. And Toby says I concur. And 9FP says I'm honing in now. Oh, you're waiting to. It's a good thing it's a cloudy day. You'd be waiting to see a plane flying in the air somewhere, and then you'd be able to go to a flight tracker and you dial me right in right there. And it's not dark yet. What time zone are you in? It is 8:43 p.m. here right now. It's going to be dark soon though. And you fishing the lake? Yes, I do fish in the lake. We've got muskie, muskellunge, pike, walleye, bass, crappie, a lot of freshwater fish in there. Because I live in the middle of nowhere, the fishing is fantastic. There's no people, so the fishing is fantastic. And Gary says, thank you for answering all our questions. Gary, thank you for asking questions. That is the nice thing about being a smaller YouTuber, a small streamer, is that we get to have these one-on-one interactions. It's not so big that I can't keep up with you guys. And like I said, if I do miss something, just ask again, because sometimes I get a little distracted answering one question while working. So just re-ask if I missed something you want an answer to. And Mr. Farva says, my 14-year-old found where a lady lives based on one YouTube short that the lady posted. It took her less than 5 minutes to know the address. Stay safe online. Yeah, it's pretty wild. People can guess from, I mean, I'm off grid, so you're not going to guess by the city lights. You're not going to guess by a building. The best you can do is guess based off of my description and time zone. But if you get it based on that, you deserve to know where I live. So it is what it is. And Gino says, yes, I got to say you are very friendly. Well, thank you. DJ, what's happening, DJ? Hope you're doing well. And double tap the screen to like the channel, please. It's free. Aw, thanks. And 9FP says, how's the bear wolf population around you? It's dense. There's quite a few of them. So I live on a peninsula, so there's water all the way around me. So as long as before the ice goes out, I chase any wolves off the property, I'm pretty good for the rest of the year. So that's what I do. Before the ice melts, I'll just go through the bush and shoot the gun and make a bunch of noise and scare off any wolves and any coyotes. Chase them across the lake. That way when the ice goes out, they're not trapped on the property. If they're trapped on the property, I have a problem because they got to come through the property and they're going to find all my animals. So we make sure we scare them all away before that. I think last year I had a bear sleeping in the forest that I missed, one hibernating, but he disappeared. He must have come through in the night, and I don't know, never had a problem with him. So we do get bears. We do have some problem with bears, usually in the fall though, usually when they're getting ready to look for somewhere to bed down. The wolves, it's the winter we got to watch because they'll run the lakes chasing deer and stuff, and they'll find their way onto your property. But yeah, we're so remote up here that there are a lot. And the Kyle GGG says, give me a shout out. How you doing, Kyle? We are here, we are chatting. I hope you're having a good night. It sounds like you live an amazing life. I do, Gary. It's pretty awesome up here. I'm cold. It's snowy. It's starting to turn into a bit of rain though. It's less snow and more rain. So I don't know if that means it's warming up. And do you have a gun on you at all times? No, I don't have a gun on me right now. I did that once. I was live streaming. Sandy, hi Sandy. I was live streaming and I had an issue with the coyotes on the property. And so while I was walking the forest, I had my gun with me just in case. And I got banned from live streaming. I had to appeal it. And yeah, they didn't really tell me how long I was going to be banned for. It just said this may be a permanent ban for having a firearm during a live stream. Thankfully, I appealed it and talked to a human and they unbanned me. But now we just risk getting eaten by wolves instead. And Toby says, bye-bye, time for bed. God bless you and your family. Take care, my friend. Take care. You have yourself a good night, and thank you for protecting your country, my country, everyone's countries. Thank you. Take care. Have a good night. Oh, we're slowly digging our way down there. The clay is hard and the ground is frozen. Whew. And I would imagine you have a lot of peace there living that way. It is nice. It is nice. And do you have to waterproof your hat? Is it leather? And how old is it? Love the hat. I probably should waterproof it. That would be a fantastic idea. It's only about 2 years old. I don't normally get it this wet, but it's snowing out here. So it is what it is. Scary guns, how ridiculous. Yes. How deep you going? We're going 3 feet deep. So each of the poles will be sticking out about 5 feet. Yeah, I'll probably end up at the end. Once I have all the fence boards run, I'm probably gonna bring the fence just over 4 feet tall. Deer can go 6 feet over. I'm not keeping the deer out with this, but I'm hoping the dog will. I'm just trying to keep the goats and the cow out. So the goats and the cow, I gotta go 4 feet. So after I go 4 feet, I'll come over with the chainsaw and I'll cut the top of all the posts off. I mean, we're slowly but steadily getting there. This is gonna take a while. It's gonna be all day tomorrow. And I am lucky it's all clay, no rocks. I'm very lucky by that. Because if it was rocky, I'd be having to wrench an excavator. There'd be no way I'd be doing this by hand if it was full of boulders and rocks. Oh, but it is a lot of work still. And 9FB says, I am heading out, but you aren't a subscriber. Stay safe, have fun. Thank you. You have yourself a great night. And we'll talk again. I am doing this 3 to 4 times a week. So, you know, not always digging posts. I hope I'm not digging posts 3 to 4 times a week. Often we're hanging out with the animals, the goats, the pigs. We're doing all those chores. We're mucking barns and building fencing and hanging out with the animals. And Gino says, do you have any heavy machinery? I am borrowing a mini loader right now. A Wacker Newson 32 mini loader. I have a farm tractor, but it's currently broke down. I gotta fix it. I was having issues with the transmission, started tearing apart, and just haven't rebuilt it yet. So I'm borrowing a mini loader, but it didn't come with an auger. It's just got a bucket, because I'm doing a bunch of landscaping right now. So yeah, I wish I would have got an auger attachment for it, but I don't have one. I'm also in the market for a tracked skid steer, tracked compact loader. So I got a few calls out to some guys. I'm watching auctions. The problem is I live in the middle of nowhere, so I can't go and like look at stuff. I gotta find one that's fairly reliable. And yeah, so I'm trying to get a tracked skid steer. I don't want one with wheels because I'll just bury it in the farm. So at least one with tracks. We can do what we need. Then I can get an auger attachment, a bucket, a snow plow, all that fun stuff. But everything costs money, and that stuff's not cheap. And Gary says, do you have a good support system out there by yourself? It's just me, my wife, and my kids. We don't have any family or anyone out here. I do have a lot of friends. You know, you make friends with all the other homestead community and farmers, but we're just doing it on our own. And yeah, that does make it tougher. We have friends who also live off grid, but they live with their parents. And that does make life a lot easier. An extra set of hands to split firewood, you know, to run to town to get fuel, all that fun stuff. And Gino says, I got one. It's a 97.2 Kubota. It's very reliable. I will look at the 97.2. I will check it out. And Zane says, I like your hat. Does it have a story behind it, or how you got it? You know what? No story. I did not, this did not come from any of my own cows or anything. This hat, just my wife bought it for me for Christmas a couple years ago. So yeah, that's no great story other than my wife loves me. This is made in the USA. And I like it too. It fits good. I think it looks good. It fits the vibe. We're gonna have to hang it up by the wood stove tonight so that it dries off nice. When you guys see me bending over like this, I'm just digging a hole. A diggy hole. Because I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. A diggy hole. I'm gonna turn into a pirate soon. Aye, matey. We be digging a hole for treasure. My My brain left a couple hours ago. Sorry, guys. Ugh. I'm like kind of depressed that I've only done 7 of these. It is so cold and miserable out here. Only 7 holes in, and I got like 24 more to go. Not tonight, tomorrow. I'll get started first light, and yeah. Whew. And what is the hole really for? We be burying bodies out here. No, I'm just kidding. We're putting up a fence. We are slowly putting in posts because we are going to be putting an apple orchard in. So I got 14 apple trees, and I gotta fence them in. My goats and my cows will eat the apple trees if I do not fence them in properly. So we're building a nice sturdy fence, 70 feet by 40 feet, a little orchard. I'm gonna build a gate on the front, a gate off the back, board it all the way around nice and tight. So yeah, hopefully it's a beautiful, nice fence. It just in the wood alone, because I live in the middle of nowhere, it cost me about 2,300 bucks. I had to drive to the closest city and pick it all up, but it was about 2,300 bucks worth of wood. I want to buy a sawmill because I have so many trees out here, and I know it will pay for itself. Between all the barns I build and all the fencing I put up, a sawmill will pay for itself. The problem is I have a bad back. You might not know it right now, but that's because we took some muscle relaxers so that we can't feel the back. But I have a bad back, and that's my concern. If I get a sawmill, I got to get those logs onto the mill and run the mill, and I don't know if I can do it. I'm trying to get back into fitness and get healthy again, so hopefully my back, it's an old injury. I broke my back playing hockey some 15 years ago, but hopefully I can get back in good health and it not be a problem anymore. We're so close to finishing this hole. Gary says, did you always want to live out like you're living now? No, it's actually a funny story. Let me do a couple things, and then we will talk about this story. Bear with me. Let me get a couple more holes out, and then I will tell you all about an ex-girlfriend. Okay. Okay. So, when I was, I don't know, I was about 18 years old. I've been dating a girl for 4 years. My father was very wealthy, a businessman, had a lot of money. We had been dating for a long time, and we were graduating high school. I was planning to go to university for civil engineering, which I did. I did used to be a civil engineer, but I was planning to go to school for that. And she wanted to go into marine biology, so it was like, cool, whatever. So we're getting ready to graduate high school together, and she, out of the blue, tells me, hey, when we graduate, I want to be a farmer. So we're going to buy a farm, and we're going to move out to the farm. We're going to get sheep, we're going to get goats, we're going to get animals, we're going to go live on a farm. And I told her she was crazy. I said, no, I am not going to go live on a farm. I want to go to university. I want to go get a degree. I want to go work a job that's going to pay well. I don't want to be a farmer. I mean, I was 150 pound nothing. She was 110 pound nothing. I'm like, there's no way we're going to be birthing animals and slinging hay bales and doing all that hard work. I said, not a chance. But I dropped it. You know, we had a bit of a fight, bit of an argument, but I dropped it. I said, whatever, it's not going to happen. We're not going to buy a farm. So I ignored it. Then 2 months later, she tells me all excited, guess what? You'll never guess what. My daddy bought us a farm. He bought us a house on a farm. We're gonna go, as soon as we graduate, we're gonna go move in together. We're gonna go live on a farm. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So, needless to say, another fight happened. I broke up with her. We were on different paths. I said, no, this is not happening. I broke up with her. Now, I did go to university. I did become a civil engineer, and I did live that life. And as I got older and the world got crazier, I like to joke that I'm like a hardcore prepper. I'm a prepper, not prepper. I used to have glasses, got laser eye surgery, so I didn't need glasses anymore. My thought was, if the world falls apart, I need to be able to see. So got rid of the glasses. Then I bought 156 acres. Then I got cows, then I got goats, then I got rabbits, then I got pigs, and we garden and we do all this fun stuff. So now I say I'm a prepper, but I broke up with that girl because she wanted to be a farmer. Now I'm a farmer. The thing is, and this is one thing that's really important, guys, if you want to get into this lifestyle, you both have to be on the same page. You both have to want to do it, because there are a lot of sacrifices. It is a lot of work, and you know, people's lives change. There's a lot of people who get into homesteading and then later want out of it. There's a lot of people who are out of it who eventually want into it. But you got to be together on the same page. Otherwise, that's going to be a very expensive divorce. It is stressful. It is hard work. It's a lot of fun. But, you know, there's times where I'm out here at, you know, minus 20 degrees Celsius at 2 in the morning helping my goats give birth. You got to sign up for that. So you don't want to drag someone into it. If it's your passion, be with someone who's also passionate about it. But you got to be in sync. You got to be on the same page. You got to be talking. You got to be having conversations. Me and my wife, we love it out here. We're having a blast. But we had to come to this together. We both lived in town together. We saw the world getting a little crazy. We both were coming on the same page. We entered this together. You know, there's going to be times like when my back throws out, I can't be in the barn mucking it. I can't be out here digging holes. So I need to lean on her. So she's got to be signed up for it. There's times where, you know, when we have a baby or something, she's in bed resting. I need to get out there and I need to milk the goats and I got to collect the eggs and water the rabbits and visit with the animals and spend time. So you got to be on the same page. We have different farm responsibilities and chores, but we both got to be signed up to do it all. It's definitely a team. You can't be on different paths. Me and that ex-girlfriend were on different paths. And guess what? She does not live on that farm anymore. I don't know if she ever did. I don't know. They did buy it. This was a true story. They did buy a farm. She did buy it. Then I broke up with her. So it kind of muddied the water. But you got to be on the same path. That was a big, long rant. I'm sorry, guys. And Corina Asher says, I noticed the sky changing color. Is that the northern lights or the camera? I think the lights, I don't know. I think it's the camera flickering and flashing. It's too cloudy out here. It is really hazy and snowy and misty and yeah, not quite the northern lights tonight. It's just too dark out, too cloudy. And how does your wife come into this starting homestead story? I think I covered it. Basically, we wanted to live in town while we had young kids. So we lived in a city. Our kids were young, everything was great. But then COVID happened and they shut everything down for 2 years. Where I lived up here in Canada, our libraries closed, our schools closed, our pool closed, fitness centers, our public parks, everything closed for 2 years. In fact, it got so crazy up here that if you had friends over during a certain point of time, if you had friends over, the police would come to your house and kick them out. They were issuing tickets to people. Like it was nasty stuff. And so during that time, we thought, why do we live in town? The whole reason we wanted to live in town was so we had access to everything. And then they took it all away. And so that got us talking about living not in town. So here we are. And Fishy Face says, I wish everyone had that mentality. Keep after, mate. Have a great day. Love the hat. Thank you. And 45s and Dragonflies says, it is insane hard work in life. My grandparents lived it for 65 years. Everyone should know where and how their food is raised and brought to the plate. Yes, that is a big thing. Taking responsibility for our own food. I do all my butchering myself. I butcher all the animals myself. You know, collect all the eggs and milk all the goats, and we do it all. It's awesome. Hi, Juno. And how far is the school for the kids? We actually homeschool. The closest school is about an hour. So my wife is a stay-at-home wife. I do work, and so yeah, she stays home. I think I'm going to leave the shovel in the ground. I think I'm going to take you for a walk to the homestead. And I think we're going to call it because it's getting dark. I'm cold. We're having a great socialization. I'm not digging very many holes. So we dug some. We didn't dig them all, but we dug some. Good enough. It's better than not doing any, and it's cold enough that I didn't want to do any. Let's switch you guys. Gonna try to lower the tripod here. Okay, switch you guys to more of a handheld. Let's go check on the animals and then I'm gonna call it a stream. So let's go say hello to the animals. My boots weigh 100 pounds because they're full of clay. Let's go see the goats. I hear you, goaties, I'm coming. And it's sad Wilderness Boy stopped. I read that today. It sounds like though he's not actually going to stop. It sounds like he's just focusing more on his kids' channels. So I guess his kids must have got to age where they have their own YouTube channel, so he's going to help them grow theirs. So it's not really stopping, it's just stopping his channel. And White Pine says, you are so interesting to listen to. I have to milk some goats now before it gets dark. Have a great night. You take care. Take care, White Pines. Glad you got goats too. And Gino says, you work far from home? Yeah, I got to drive about an hour to work every day. Hour there, hour back. It is what it is. And love your channel, brother. Thank you, Gary. We're going to go say hi. Actually, we got to turn the generator off. We probably don't need the generator running anymore. So let's turn our generator off and then we'll go say hi to the goats. I hear you, I'm coming. They're all hollering to me. This is the loader I'm borrowing, which I wish had an auger. I do not have an auger for it. That would have made life a lot easier. Okay, we got some raindrops on the screen. Bear with me, guys. It's gonna be a little noisy. There we go. Just 27.4 volts. The batteries are full. I'll show you the generator. This is the off-grid life right here. Oh, the big old diesel generator. That bad boy is Power Homestead. Of course, I just turned it off and we still have power. That's because we have batteries. Like I said, 27 volts of power right now. So, yeah. Let's see what you're saying. My grandpa kept his farm in Alberta and made us work. I'm forever grateful. You and your wife should be so proud of each other. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And Gino says, you have a great night. Very nice guy. Lily, out. Well, guys, that is about the end of it. Let's go say hi to the goats for those who want to see the goats. And then we will end the stream after that. Oh, we just turned the gen off. We might come into Wi-Fi and I might disconnect from the coming in and out of Wi-Fi. That's why the goats are making noise. My wife is milking them. Let's go see the goats.
Hi.
Hello, she be milking a goat.
Don't mind Oreo. Oreo is still getting used to this, so she's not very well behaved for milking time.
I don't know if you guys can see the process here.
Oreo, be nice.
So, we've got this, hey girl. We've got this head of,
Oreo.
We're losing milk.
Yeah, she's still learning to behave on here.
Hey girl.
That's why I do her before Mimi. Mimi
So, yeah.
gives us a whole whack of milk, but Oreo.
Hey goaties. So anyway, that's a goat being milked.
Hi.
I bet you guys didn't have that on your bingo card for tonight.
Bingo card.
And Gary says, thank you for sharing your life with all of us. And Sashi Poo says, I would love to see the goats. And what part of Canada are you guys in? We are in the far, far north. Imagine up by like Hudson's Bay. Like we are in the middle of nowhere.
It's still snowing.
That's why it's still snowing and cold.
That's better.
Diana says hi. Hi, Diana. How you doing?
Stay there.
Lily.
Does anybody else on your chat milk goats?
We had one person just take off goats.
Well, I'm milking in solidarity with them.
Oh, Lily, you're so wet looking.
The Oreo, it's not so bad.
Oh, yes. Oh, boy.
Can you believe her right now?
She's fighting with you?
Yeah. Well, the good news is she hasn't given me very much, so you're gonna have to get used to this, girl.
Did you already go, milk?
No, I do Mimi after because Oreo fights me.
All right.
That way, I don't have to risk dumping an entire.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna.
I also must be tired because she's never caught me on it.
You're distracted.
I am distracted, I guess.
Well, guys,
Okay.
let's go say hi to. Let's go say hi to those other goats. Before we end the stream, here's some rabbits. Did you say we have a fresh litter of rabbits in here? Which one? Snow has some new baby rabbits. So that is good news. We knew she was due any day now, but I thought she was gonna have her babies about 4 days ago, and she didn't. So I thought that maybe she didn't take. But it turns out she did. Hello, Gabby. Hi, Gabby. Oh, it's okay. There's a cow. And can you drink that milk just like that? Well, you can if she doesn't put her foot in it. What you do is you use betadine, the same thing that they do at hospitals if you have an injury. It's I don't sterilization thing. You sterilize the udders, and then you can milk them, and then you can drink it straight from the udder. You can pasteurize it, meaning bringing it up to about 175 Fahrenheit for 5 minutes or whatever it is. You can pasteurize it so it lasts longer, but we just drink it raw. Strain it through a cheesecloth in case there's any hair in there. And yeah, you just drink it raw. Lasts for about 5-7 days in the fridge. And is Lily your LGD? She's not, well, she is. LGD meaning livestock guardian dog, for those who don't know. She is and she isn't. She does live outside normally, and she does kind of take care of the animals, but like if a rabbit got out, she's more likely to eat the rabbit than to protect the rabbit. She does chase away the foxes sometimes, so that's good. And wow, you guys are definitely working hard up there. That's no joke. And can you drink that milk? Yes. And Oreo, behave. Yes. So we got these guys over here. I don't know if you can see. It's dark. Here, okay, guys. I might lose you because the battery might die, but we're gonna try turning the flashlight on. I'm gonna flip you around. Try to turn the light on if I can. Where did it go? Oh, you know what? My phone's probably too low to turn the light on. I got 2 goats in there. The reason that they are in there is not because I'm mean. It's because we're slowly weaning them off. So they'll spend the night with their moms, but that's why we're milking them right now. Milking the moms right now to wean the babies off. They're old enough that they shouldn't be still on their moms. So we got to kind of drain the moms of any milk to discourage them from eating from them. And yeah, so they're just going to kind of cry away there. Well, guys, I appreciate you all. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you for an awesome live stream. Me and Gabby, we got to go. I got to go get a fire going in the homestead. I'm cold, and it's time to end the stream. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for watching. And I hope you guys have a great night. Take care, as always.